Good numbing. Hello YouTube, I hope you're doing well. We finished up Hades yesterday, well, finished up the main story, so now we're back on our Atelier Ryza free grind. This game is very long. I don't know if it'll be the longest Atelier game we've covered on the channel, but it'll probably be pretty dang close. It's going to be catching up to the length Liddy and Suli was in terms of streams, because we're now currently on session 14, and I think Liddy and Suli was like 17 streams? And I'm not actually sure if we'll get the game done by then. It was either 17 or 18. Equally, I know Liddy and Suli had a lot of grind work to do in between, like, actual plot stuff, but still, with this game might end up being our longest Atelier journey, which, to be fair, will be fine. This is a really enjoyable experience. We've still got more side content to do, though, because of course we do, before we actually help out Empel. So let's head over back to the underworld to see what this ruined gatekeeper wants with us. I hope I'm wrong about this. Oh, what happened? I have a feeling that strong Felucia have been wandering this area lately.
Isn't this place connected to the Cavern of Insanity by one road? If so, I wouldn't be surprised to see a strong one here.
I would agree if they had always been the case, but the numbers have increased so suddenly. I just fought an incredibly strong Felucia, but I couldn't finish it off and let it escape. That means that one may still be around here. Then I'll go defeat it for you. Well, so you're probably going to hit... It's pretty warm today. At least I think it's pretty warm today. So, I've got my window open to kind of let some airflow through. But equally... Where's this normal quest? Sorry, hang on. Hello? Hang on, let me actually equip it. Oh, it's there. Okay, got it. So I've got my window open, but it's also a bank holiday here in the UK. It's the one involving motorcycles for you outside of the UK who don't know. So there's a good chance you'll hear some throughout the stream. Hopefully it won't be too bad, but it's just like kind of it comes with the turf. It's Mayday. It's also part of the reason why I started a little later, because I usually wake up earlier, but because it's bank holiday and whatnot, I just kind of rotted in bed a little longer. Additionally, whilst I'm working on this, the scripted video I plan to have out on the 20th is doing alright so far. I don't know if it, like, I don't know if it will make it the 20th, I hope it does, but, like, so far I've done about 4 chapters of the game, like, edited and written up sort of thing, so I'm kind of doing it as I go a little bit to keep on top of everything, and then I'll, like, clean it up later. But so far, it's so good. The real hassle will be, because I'm covering Knights of Azure too, the real hassle will be getting the true ending, because it requires a second playthrough. And on the second playthrough, I'll have the actually have the ability to, you know, record all the optional extra content, because there's no time limit anymore. And so it's how much of the extra content I want to cover and talk about, how much of, like, the true ending I want to talk about, or do I want to leave it relatively, like, open-ended to encourage people to, like, play it themselves, or what, because I do really enjoy it. I am enjoying it now more on my second run. I also, what's helping is that it hasn't crashed on me once yet. And as you know, when I tried to live stream it last year, it crashed on me almost every stream. It was almost like every 2 hours it would guarantee to crash. I am only playing it in chunks as I go, though, which might also be part of the solution, but still. Oh, you destroyed him, then. Thank you on behalf of the clan. You're welcome, but I wonder why so many Felucia started appearing all of a sudden.
Possibly because when we destroyed the Deranger, the Felucia that were in the depths of the cavern came out. Wild animals usually get confused when they lose their leader.
So is that our fault then? No, I have to thank you for this. Because it's much better to fight the Felucia outside than inside caverns turned into nests.
Yes, inside caverns they can come from all 4 directions in the ceiling too.
Exactly. So don't worry about anything. Yeah, you're right. Thank you. Oh, I still haven't done, I just haven't had the energy and desire to. I still haven't done these yet, kill, like, a bunch of these enemies over here. I'll get to it eventually, alright? We're back at base, we need to make L's tablet. There's something else of immediate interest. I will make more pristine keys while we're here, but there's something of immediate interest we need to worry about making. Actually, I'll just put on the one for now. I'll unlock everything first. But since we're going to be playing this, like, pretty much until we're done, you know I'm going to end up somehow finishing it this week now, so we'll see how it goes. Oh, we need one more. Elec, there we go. That's success rate, so I don't really care for it too much. I'd rather push onto this. But if we do finish it early, next week could be pretty fun, because we've got Caligula Effect 2, that will probably start up. We've got Final Fantasy 4 I'd like to start, because I adore that game. It's one of my all-time favourite games, of course I want to cover it. We've got the Arlen Saga we can start at some point, and then obviously Final Fantasy 16, Street Fighter 6, the Alan Marie remake. We're going to be busy. And there's a couple other games I want to try out as well. But one thing at a time, but still, you get the gist. We're going to be pretty busy. Oh, we still don't have enough of that. Fine, I'll just burn it into this. Oh, that wasn't enough, huh? Okay, what about quality? That'll do. Damn! Greatly increased attack and speed, but reduces defense. Increased fixed damage that ignores resistance. Now I'll do Lion Rush, that sounds fun. Everything else, like, just super crazy boosts. Yeah, now let's make Empel's thingamabob. I need to make more neutralizers, holy. After this I'll make more neutralizers. I didn't realize I was that low. I knew I was kind of low, but ooh. And then of course, like, outside of all, like, the RPGs that we'll be covering, we'll be getting back on Resident Evil before too long, because I want to cover 4 separate ways, and then we need to start covering 5, 6, 7 Village, and then 4 Remake. Not necessarily in that order, because it basically we'll cover 4 Remake when I'm in the mood to. Like, I'm still debating with Resident Evil 4 Remake, either like just doing it when I want to, or waiting until the inevitable Separate Ways DLC drops and then doing it. But we'll see. My heart of hearts still hopes that Code Veronica will get the remake treatment next, but we'll see. Anyway, this is the device that Empel created. Or at least I think it is. Sis, how do you use this thing? Oh, beats me. Maybe it's incomplete. I made it, but I don't feel anything from this stone slab. Is it missing something?
That's likely the case.
Empel, you have been reading the book since then. Have you discovered anything?
I have. I learned about how the code of the universe functions. It seems the code of the universe has lowered its anchor on the land's dragon vein, and it appears to be staying in place.
Lowered its anchor, you say?
A ship must lower its anchor, or else it will drift at sea, no? With the code of the universe, the same thing occurs, but as an entire world. I got this all the time. I stream nightly. Yeah, fair enough, dude. It's just you're gonna hear. Oh, speak of the devil, you're gonna hear motorcycles. It's a Mayday, or Jack in the Green here, so it's literally like, it's almost like it's deeply rooted in motorcycle celebration as well. Everyone shows up on their motorbikes. It means it left unattended. It could fly away into an unexpected world. That's right. Therefore, around the code of the universe, there is an anchor lowered on the dragon vein. It appears Empel had figured that out as well. An anchor? I don't remember seeing anything like that. Good in that type. Oh, I like her in this. It makes her look more mature. According to him, the stone monuments that appear here and there have this function.
The stone monuments. I will admit it makes her stand out more though, because everyone else has got like pseudo fantasy clothing, and she's just wearing proper fantasy attire. You know what I mean? Like everyone's like, it's got elements of fantasy in their clothing, but it's relatively kind of grounded. And then like when you have them in like the mysterious costumes, it's like no, that's like way more fantasy, and so it makes her stand out. Yeah, I think like Sophie shouldn't have been the one that got all of the Sophie costumes. Personally, I think they should have spaced it out, because like imagine putting Boss in like Matthias's armor. You know, contemporary fantasy versus magical fantasy. Yeah, you know, or like having Carla like dressed up like Firis, as in like young Firis, not like, I say it, she's still young in Lily and Suri, but you know what I mean, like younger Firis. Like it'd suit her perfectly. Anyway, Carla, sorry, not Kilo. Wasn't there one in front of that big door?
Let's go and take a look.
The only thing is, I mentioned it when we last wore it, is that the cape physics are too good. And so it ends up kind of disrupting the costume slightly, because if you run to the side, the cape gets kicked to one side, and Ryza's, like, how far, like, Ryza's feet go back, it keeps the cape on one side, because the physics don't let it get reset, because she just kicks it over. So you can't have it like a straight behind you cape, because it always gets... Well, yeah, well, you can, but you have to try for it, because it always ends up getting kicked to one side. That's, like, the only thing of the costume I'm not, like, vibing with, but that's just because the physics engine on it is too on point. Well, I say that as I managed to make it overlap. Right, I want to make neutralizers super quick because I've got like none. Yeah, literally 0511. Yeah, okay, let me correct this. The only thing with this costume, and I've noticed it in small scenes, and like last time we wore it, we noticed it a lot as well, is I'm pretty sure, like, this costume is partially padded, because Ryza's arms will clip through her boobs when she doesn't in any other costume, and it's like, it's almost like the costume gives her bigger boobs, you know? And I imagine it's literally just because it's trying to be more reminiscent and whatnot, that it's just like it's thicker clothing or whatever. But it's like, you notice, like even in this sprite right now, like you can kind of see her arm is slightly clipping through the shirt. It doesn't do that in the other costumes. Like it pads her out. I say that, nothing's as obtuse as some of the character designs in Knights of Azure 2, recording that. Like, I've even got a note in it, and it's like, man, you do a lot of, like, almost like social link-esque scenes, where you buddy up with characters and get to know them better. The amount of them that involve Alush taking that character to the bathhouse or a swimming pool and getting them in bikinis, and it's just like, huh. Like, it happens a lot. My favourite scene, though, is still there's a point where Alush has to, because she's a demon now, she has to get like these evaluations and examinations to make sure that, you know, she's still okay and everything. She gets like the researcher, you know, Camilla, takes her to the bathhouse for a bit of privacy to basically examine her while she swims. And it's like, okay, sure, whatever. Afterwards, though, Alush gets super embarrassed about, you know, just being, like, stared at, basically. And says, you know what, it's only fair if you do it too. So Camilla says, alright, because she doesn't really give a fuck. She does it. Arlush looks up and down Camilla's body, and then immediately grabs her heart and gets really bad heart pains. And eventually just goes, I have to leave, because her heart rate spiked up so much just looking at her. It's like, I was just like beside myself when I saw that scene. I was like, oh, this poor gay idiot. Yeah. Because at first Camilla's like, is this a reaction from your demonic side? She's like, no, it's not. I have to leave. Like, she has an awakening then and there, and I was just like, oh no, this poor girl. How like gothic and depressing a lot of the game is in places. It's really wholesome in a lot of ways as well. Like the main story is like pretty like doom and gloomy. All the side content is just Gust being Gust. Like, it's still pretty fucking wholesome and cute. And now I get the references as well that I didn't get when I first live streamed it, because when I first live streamed it, it was before I played any Atelier game. So when, like, you're going through the tutorial and there's an explosive barrel, and Al just goes, "Barrel!" Now I get it. Now I get it. And she just goes, "Barrel!" And Camilla just goes, yes, it is a barrel. It's an explosive barrel. Equally, if you don't want to detonate it, if you break it, the oil will spill out, and then you can make a field of fire. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's actually pretty dope. Options on the fly when you're in combat. But all in all, yeah, I am enjoying the game a lot more. It helps that it hasn't crashed on me yet, but it also helps that I'm prepared for it to be crash on me at some point. So even if it does, like, I'll be on it, and I'm just saving often, you know. I saved twice at the end of every in-game day. I save once the day actually ends, and then I save again at the start of the new day. So if I get kicked back, I always lose very little. Oh, I haven't changed, like... I only changed, Ryza's costume to this one. I haven't actually changed anyone else's. Sure. I'm keeping you in the samurai forever, because I just love that costume. I'm keeping you in that because I love that costume. Keeping you in that because I prefer it. Same with you. I want to, but no. I'll keep him like that because he looks, because Boss is an icon. He's sexy as fuck, and he has no right to be. I'll keep her in that. Dion, I really don't care. That looks cool enough. I'll actually put you in this because I kind of like this costume. You said that before, that you want Ryza to cross over Assassin's Creed so you can give her an assassin attire. One day, man. What are we even doing on the plot right now? The stone monument near the Gate of Honor. Oh, right, okay. We still haven't opened that door in the corner, have we? No. What do we need to do to break that open? Yes, hello, we're back. Oh yeah, this one, got it. Is this the stone monument, Ryza? What do you think? The dragon vein, a large current of power. How about you, Carla and Lilla?
No, I do not feel anything.
Even with the keen senses of Oren, the current and the dragon vein cannot be caught.
Catching the current of power. Everyone gets defaulted. Let's see. So it's not that the mechanism was different, it just needs to be powered. I forcibly collected it from the seeds of light buried in the surrounding area. Right, that time. Ryza? I need to use this. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I was betting, what were you opening, Ryza? Did you think about this a little more? I feel like it's like open like a gate to hell. Like we just go past Underworld and go into like super evil world. What is this key? I followed the anchor, gathered power from the dragon vein, and made it into the shape of a key. If I use this... Why did the music suddenly like go down a note? Like it went from mysterious, like it just went deeper a note. Like this is ominous. Like you should be wary of this fucking thing. What happened?
You transformed the power of the dragon vein into the shape of a key, for it to be absorbed into the stone slab. Am I understanding this correctly?
I think so. I feel like the stone slab is filled with power now, if only a little. I feel like this code of the universe bullshit is something you shouldn't be messing with, Ryza. The music went super fucking ominous. Like, I think this is something you shouldn't... I think you're tampering with things you don't understand. But maybe it's not enough. The light was contained. You cannot make any more keys. God is suffering. It was just that drop. Like, as soon as the slab lit up, the music went from that mysterious, like, clang sound to, like, this, like, completely dipped down in tone. I was like, it just put, like, a shudder in me. I was just like, no, this is ominous. This is, like shit beyond our understanding kind of music. Like, you shouldn't. But these clangs that it's now gone back to. If there are these anchor things all over the place, maybe you can make keys in other places. Oh, that's it. Thanks, Dion. Sure, leave it to me. Can you all help me look for the anchors? If I do it the same way, I think we should complete this stone slab. We may have seen the light. This is how we call it, Ryza Review Age of God Edition. Looking for an anchor all over, huh? It seems like we need to be more meticulous than usual. Ah, Ryza, why don't you make an airdrop? I have an airdrop. An airdrop? Oh yeah, right, you weren't playable in Ryza 2. It's a device used to explore underwater. It's a strange candy that keeps giving off air when licked. If you want to explore every nook and cranny, then you might need to go deep underwater. You need to be prepared for that. Wow, that's an interesting idea. Yeah, I came up with it a whole year ago, and everyone's like, what? You've grown that much? I know, right? We actually explored a submerged ruin before. Yeah, I miss Ryza 2 too, Ryza. Don't worry.
An apprentice who wants to be praised by their master.
Some things don't change. Forest Island, Coral Island, and Rock Island. Hey, we actually get to explore the islands again. The game didn't forget. Fucking Jesus Christ, I really hope. I love the concept. I've said it all playthrough. I love the concept of like the sliding shoes, like having momentum as a reward for like getting around quicker, like knowing when to use slopes and whatnot. I wish it was so much more consistent than it is though. I do feel like at one point there was a patch that made it a smidge more consistent in some attributes, but as a whole, holy shit, I did not let go of the circle once going down that slope and it cut out so many fucking times. I wish there were more environments of this scale. Like, they kind of, like... It feels like they made all this, and like, had all these environments and whatnot,
and then realised I had to make the other areas. Because no other area in the game, like, this bit over here gets kinda close, but not really. Nothing else really has that sense of, like, even if they have the size, they don't have that sense of scale that this area does. Like, this area, it always feels like there's more I haven't seen. Which, if there isn't, if you can give off that feeling, you're already there, you know? In terms of, like, making these kind of more bigger open games. But this is the only area that's done that. Everything else, it feels like once I've been through it, I've kind of seen everything it has to offer. Ooh.
Look at that! Isn't that a stone monument?
It is!
Okay, we'll do it the same way as before.
This is...
I sense an enemy! All of you be prepared!
Oh, sorry, I jumped in too quickly to do Carla's lines and my throat said, what the fuck are you doing? This feeling. Something similar happened in the blockade area.
It must be from the massive amounts of power generated in the surrounding area. The monsters are more sensitive than us.
First, let's make sure we're safe. Right, it's our moment. Well, it's not your moment, Dion. You're not even on the bench. Get out of here. What level are these guys? 70. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Maybe a... Ooh. Maybe they're not gonna last long. Yeah, you can charge up all you want, my friend. You're fucked. Yeah, that was done super quick. Man, it is kind of cool when like there's this panning shot and there's just 11 of them like this. That is kind of cool. Even though the enemies are dealt with, so you can all stop it with your fancy battle poses. We beat it for now.
Other monsters may appear. Lured by the power, make sure to be cautious with your surroundings.
Let's keep watch while Ryza's gathering power. Gee, I think you guys could space out a little bit more. Just to hunch you three. I think if one of you can see an enemy approaching, all three of you will be able to see it, which kind of defeats the fucking point of the scouting. You could space out a little bit more. Have one look north, one look south, one look east, one look west. Just saying, guys. Anyway, well, you know, there's 11 of you. You could cover like the quarter points as well. You could have a northeast, an east, a southeast, a south. You know. Let's get this over with while everyone's keeping watch. Heck, you could have someone like staring at the ground and someone staring at the sky, and then everyone's staring at something. That should do it. Ryza, could I talk to you for a moment? What is it, Lilla? I'm sorry to be personal, but there's something I would like to ask you. It's about Empel. About Empel? We are slowly approaching the code of the universe, but Empel continues to wander, to be conflicted. I do not know what to say to him in this state. He was on the verge already when leaving Farah. And then he was struck by the past with an old friend. He is past the limits of what he can withstand. I plan to watch over him until his emotional scars heal. Oh, Lilla. He who just barely supports his crumbling heart purely out of vanity of being in front of his apprentices. Lilla, you know your man way too well, don't you? And so you're worried because you know he's been at his breaking point for a while. He's just putting up a brave face because he doesn't want to worry Ryza. He doesn't want to worry the students, sort of thing. Oh, bless you, Lilla. Genuinely, it's the biggest thing I'll be taking away from Ryza 3, among a few other things, obviously, is the subtlety of development they gave Lilla and Empel. Like, there's nothing, like, in your face, like, he's not screaming like a madman, or, like, completely going through everything, but you know something's not right, and you can feel it. And it's like, you know, like, Lilla's always been this very cold, calculating, and to-the-point person, but now, like, you're seeing her be, like, a smidge motherly to Lent. Like, you see her, like, genuinely care for Empel and worry about him. You saw her show vulnerability when she saw a part of the underworld actually show signs of healing, and it caught her off guard because she wasn't expecting it. I mean, yeah, exactly. Like, I love the fact that, like, they're not being super overt that these characters have to go on, like, these huge character journeys, because you don't need to have every dynamic character be very blatant or loud about their development. I just like that we're getting to see more human sides of these characters, and we're seeing, like, subtle things affect them more. Because in Ryza 1, they were just kind of the mentor characters, and in Ryza 2, they were just in the fucking background, you know? So in this one, to actually see them actually get some time, it's refreshing, and I really enjoy these characters. I enjoyed them in Ryza 1, so I enjoyed it way more. Now I'm actually getting to see different sides of them. He is in the midst of pain, but also does not want to be touched. That's why I can do nothing. Yeah, because Lilla just wants to, like, kind of give him a pat on the back, or, like, a hug, or, like, scruff his hair up and just be like, yeah, you doing alright? But she knows that Empel won't appreciate that, no matter how rough of state he is, because he's too prideful about it. He doesn't want to show it. Like, it's not even necessarily, like, a romantic thing. It's just Lilla knows that what Empel needs is a good fucking hug. Or, like, just some kind of physical reassurance. But she also knows that Empel's too prideful right now to accept that, so that's why she's kind of in a bind a little with it. Oh, so you do understand how he feels. But the fact that you still can't talk to him, it's awkward in a way, but it's also kind of cute. Perhaps there really is a connection between alchemists. If so, oh jeez, no. Yeah, Ryza's like, no. It's like, Ryza vaguely kind of understands what Empel's feeling, but she's like, no, I'm not the one that has to be the one to support him on this. Yeah, it has to be you. Whatever the other person thinks, if you want to be nice to someone, you treat them with kindness. Don't be afraid, just show them how you're feeling. No, it's also Lilla showing more vulnerability again, which is what I was just talking about, because, like, you know, she doesn't know exactly how to deal with this situation, which is why she's reached out to Empel. And now she's got, like, Lilla, she's kind of like this wide-eyed, like, oh, okay, when she'd never do this in Ryza 1. So I'm genuinely enjoying the fact that there's extra layers to these characters. They're not going through radical changes, it's just nuance here and there that's just making them feel more human. It's also a cute face of Lilla, so I'm taking that screenshot. Not being afraid. Showing my... Even if you get rejected, they'll still understand your feelings. Because you really do feel that way. Meanwhile, Ryza's immediately back on her fucking wingman in train. She's like, hey, look, it nearly worked with Patricia. I can be your wingman too. Or something like that. I was acting a little superior, but I guess it's allowed sometimes, right? There's no rule that an apprentice can't teach their master anyway. I see. I think I understand. Thank you, Ryza. I shall face this challenge without fear, as a White Fang warrior. Okay, don't scare the man when you try and comfort him, Lilla. Uh-oh, she's a woman on a mission. I feel like your understanding is a little too gallant. But oh well, I'll let the adults talk it out. Oh, no, that's not gallant, that's gallant. Gallant's a different word. I hope they work it out. That's a start. Doesn't seem like enough. Let's go and look for the next stone monument. There's another duo that feels long overdue, like, maybe not necessarily hooking up, but, like, getting way closer to each other, you know? Like, they've trusted and stuck by each other for so long. Yet, like, they just kind of stay at that ling. Oh, dull things, what are we citing? Yeah, I don't need you. I don't need you, I've got this. Oh yeah, this speech will work. I'm not warping because I just want to enjoy traveling around these islands again. The earlier streams of this game where we were just vibing around these islands was generally the most fun I've had in this game. Just kind of vibing, exploring, figuring everything out. It was super fucking fun. And that's not to say I haven't had fun the rest. I've had loads of fun throughout this whole game. Regardless of what franchise or series it is, and regardless of how devoted I am, if I'm not enjoying it, I'll stop playing it. But I genuinely love this game. It's just the most fun I had with it was the initial, like, couple streams where I was exploring and feeling up the land and getting to know everything. There it is, the stone monument, Ryza. Yeah, leave it to me. More enemies? I imagine it's going to be the general gist. We're going to, like, you do this, enemies show up, you fight them, you get a little dialogue. Well, I mean, like, because I was going to give Saga more tries, wasn't I? But I just did not fucking vibe with that game whatsoever. Which I still feel kind of bad for, but it just wasn't for me. Good, here goes another. I despise it was. I still play it because it's Neptune, yeah. So I'll let that motorbike pass. Now, if I, like, heaven forbid, if I, like, when I eventually get Sisters v Sisters, if I don't enjoy it, I'll just stop. I mean, actually, a better example, the game I'm writing a review for, I never finished Knights of Azure 2 on stream. I'm finishing it for the first time through my review. Because the constant crashing made me not enjoy it. And so eventually I went, I don't want to play this game anymore, so stopped. I didn't feel like I didn't act like I had to finish it just because I finished the first game. I just put it down. So that said, it thankfully hasn't crashed on me once while recording footage and for my review, but who knows. I still think it might have been more to do with the PS5 emulating the PS4 game when you play it that was causing it to crash. And if that's the case, it would make sense if it's crashing less now, since there's been a lot of system updates to the PS5's, like, previous gen emulators since. Like, a lot like the PS1 and PS2 titles. I don't know about how on PS4 when you play them, but on PS5, run way smoother than they did when it first came out. Ah, that voice again. The call of the code of the universe that you mentioned? Yeah, it seems to just happen when I return to the Isles. Is she really alright? Having heard the story up to this point, I'm a little worried. Yeah, Paddy, I think you're right to be a little concerned, considering everything we've learned, and how the code of the universe very much comes across as this forbidden knowledge that you really... It's not that you're not allowed to know it, it's that it's for your best interest not to know it. It trying to, like, almost infect itself into Ryza's mind is kind of concerning. The code of the universe, appearing to alchemists since long, long ago, inviting them inward and driving many to madness. When I learned that, I thought I'll put a stop to this cycle, but in order to reach the code of the universe, I need to cross worlds. In order to cross worlds, I need the power of this stone slab. I know that, but...
You don't feel comfortable opening the gate yourself.
Yeah. The people of the Age of God, who created the code of the universe, made a mistake despite having advanced technical abilities. Then, was that mistake because of those technical abilities? I don't... The way I see it, what we must truly question is the spirits of those handling the power. Those who only pursue self-interest and cannot handle power correctly must surely be punished.
I see. The people of the Age of God and the alchemists of the Clint Kingdom had the wrong idea.
You mean we didn't know that since Ryza 1? Yeah, I get it, dude. Ryza, how about you? Will you open the gate to make others suffer? No, I don't intend to do that. Then it is fine. Carla being the voice of reason. Carla basically saying, look, yeah, the guys who use, you know, like the code of the universe for the Age of God, or like the Clint Kingdom people who like abuse the sources of the underworld, they did it for their own self-interest, and they got what's coming to them. Ryza, what you're doing isn't for your own self-interest. You're trying to help people. You'll be fucking fine, so stop worrying about it. That's like the TLDR of what Carla said. Respect the good and punish the bad. Hence, be honest and righteous.
As long as you do not forget that, I promise to help you. Okay, you're right. I'll be careful not to mistake that. So that all of you can journey with me, can trust me.
An honest alchemist, huh?
Alright, one left. Back on the rock. Okay, this I'll walk to because it's kind of awkward. Turn around. There we go. Is it? Oh, I gotta remember. Is this like the cave you have to dive under, or is this the waterfall? Let me have a look. Oh, it's the cave. Okay, I see it. I know there's one where there's a cave and one of them is a waterfall. I think the waterfall's in the opposite corner. Honest alchemist. I think I have a good idea of at least how like Ryza's story is going to end through this, though. Even though we're obviously probably some ways off, I'm getting the impression that like the fact that it's supposed to be Ryza's retirement game, as I keep referring it to, they're gonna literally make her give up alchemy because like they'll be like, there's no such thing as an honest alchemist or some shit along that line, or like once she's dealt with the code of the universe or whatever big demon is the final fight, she'll like realize that like it's too much power to contain, so she will stop using it. Something will make her retire from alchemy, which will force her to make this her retirement game in the Secret Saga. I still stand by the point though, at least so far, there's so many like character arcs that feel half done that it really feels like that even though this is Ryza's retirement game, it isn't the end of the Secret Saga, but I'll get to that more when I see the ending. Ryza, I found a stone monument. And if it is the case, not quite, but if it is the case where, like, they do seem to set up a fourth Secret Saga game, I'll honestly be excited for that, because I just want to see a different perspective. I love Ryza. I think Ryza is an extremely charming character, and I love her to pieces, and seeing her grow for these games is really endearing. But I'd love to see a different perspective of the same world. It's what I genuinely liked about Theros, despite my other grievances, and what I loved about Lydia and Sully, is that it wasn't just Sophie's perspective again. Well, yeah, no, I have no reason to do alchemy. Yeah, well, don't give it all away. But yeah, I'm impressed. You have a good eye, Lila. It's the same with all Oren. And if Ryza pseudo retires from alchemy one way or another, it still leaves the door open for her to at least teach someone else that might be like the brighter future. I'm not, you know, so that she can still Ryza can serve the role. Without meaning to just make it too repetitive between sagas, but Sophie could then Ryza can then effectively serve the same role. Fucking the other way around. Ryza can serve the same role Sophie did. There we go. When I could speak English, in Theros, where she becomes more of a mentor character. It's the same with all Oren. And I've said it before. If they do that, and they do have another Secret Saga game, but focused on a different character, please make it an Oren. Please make it an Oren. I want to play as an Oren as a protagonist. Please. You know, I think it would be if you want to do a different perspective, that's the perfect fucking character to do a perfect different perspective on. Because, you know, they come from a kingdom that was ravaged by alchemy. Suddenly having one of them ironically become an alchemist and be the one to fix the bullshit of whatever's going on, the Kingdom, Age of God, or whatever, that would be such a perfect full circle if done rightly. Come on. Anyway, Ryza, I'm counting on you. Yeah, I'll give it a try. And because then they could spin it a little bit and almost introduce Ryza as someone you can't trust because she's an alchemist. Because you're playing as a character who doesn't trust alchemists, even though she's doing alchemy, you know. So they could have this different perspective where it's at first the main character you're playing as is wary of this character, more wary of Ryza, and it makes a different dynamic between them, and then it builds on it. Sort of like what they did with the second game, but just from the other perspective. Yep, looks like it worked. Now next.
Seems like that stone slab is working well.
Empel. Yes, Empel. It's because you decoded it for me.
I see, I'm glad to hear that.
You don't seem very glad.
That's so. Well, you may be right. Some parts of me, somewhere inside, is thinking of him.
His name was Emil, right?
Emil was a brilliant alchemist, far beyond myself. That's exactly why I don't like the idea of riding on the shoulders of his success. It's an ugly jealousy.
True. Emil may be a remarkable person. In fact, I couldn't have made this stone slab by myself. But still, the only one I truly admire is you, Empel. No matter how much of a great alchemist they may be, I won't trust the kind of person who hurts others.
Ryza. I am a failure as a teacher, being cheered on by my own apprentices.
That's not true. Let me support you.
Yeah, letting you support me.
Oh, Lilla, speak your mind. I know she's just worried and whatnot, but fucking hell, girl, speak your mind. Oh, I'm not even on my mount. These guys are like, get the fuck out of here, it's Ryza. Oh, but she's gonna... with that high level, huh? Oh. What about this mini-boss? Is he fuck up? Okay, no, the mini-boss is still up for the fight. You dropped 300 SP? I mean, yeah, of course I'm gonna fight you. Are you level bumped up? You're not. Okay. Well, you're a little bit. You're in the 70s, but you... But like, what I mean is like how I feel like some things haven't been wrapped up, and I don't know if they will. Claudia's mum's still sick, and like, you know, we're doing like that thing with the character arc of like trying out different medicines, so like Claudia can learn to properly appraise them. But that doesn't mean her mum's suddenly getting better because you haven't found the medicine or made a medicine for it. Like, Len's dad is probably going to go out and start looking for his mum, but who knows if that will get wrapped up in this game. Boss, like, they're talking about, like, marriage and whatnot with Boss. That's absolutely going to be Kilo. He's going to propose to Kilo, but I think Kilo might not be able to leave because of her commitments to the underworld. So it's like, they need to find a way to resolve absolutely everything in the underworld, so then she can happily leave and be with Boss. Assuming that's the path they're going. I feel like Lilla's going to say something to Empel, but they might not, and if they don't, that's yet another thing to wait on another game for. You know what I mean? That's how, like, it's coming across. Also, I haven't finished it, so who knows how much of this will actually get wrapped up, but that's how it's all coming across. It's coming across that, like, Ryza's story arc might get done at the end of this, but it might just be only Ryza. And if that's the case, then yeah, absolutely we're getting another Secret Saga game. I don't know if it'll be the next game we get, because as I mentioned before, I recently discovered that this Atelier game is Project 24, which means the next one is a milestone game. And the last time they did a milestone game, Project 20, was Ryza. It was the start of the Secret Saga. So although on one hand you could say, like, start the Secret Saga on a milestone and finish it on a milestone, I wouldn't be surprised if the next milestone title is a bigger deal than that, and it might start up the Ninth Saga. It might not. It might not be that first. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if they do treat it as like a bigger deal. And I think if they did start another saga, it'd probably be a nice break for the team to not have to make up another fucking ancient civilization. Guys, look. Because I can't stress enough, after that joke I made at the end of Ryza 2, I was not expecting the Gift of Prophecy to throw such a fucking fastball at me with this game. At the end of the second game, when I went, oh boy, I can't wait for them to make up yet another civilization that's somehow even older than the Moon Witch in the next game, and then we go into Ryza 3 and they introduce a new civilization that's older than the Frost Moon Witch. I was just like, fucking, I shouldn't have said anything. Like, for the Gift of Prophecy threw such a hard fastball at me, I just wasn't ready. Is it ready? Probably. I'm gonna try it out now.
I said this before and I'll say it again. Be careful.
Oh, what happened to your hair there for a second? Did you catch that? Okay, I understand. I'll transfer the strength stored in the tablet into this key again. Oh, for a second I thought I was gonna like shoot at Ryza or something, the way that was starting to rev up. Someone was watching. Yeah, it fucking felt like it. Maybe I should try and use my gift of prophecy for like more like personal, powerful reasons. Oh, wouldn't it be funny if the next saga starts the next game and it features like a really gothic tomboy protagonist? Oh, what? Huh? Sorry? Did anyone say something? Did it work? I think so. If it works, the gate should be connected to Ateliers in Claria and Namid. Oh, is this thing I can access this realm from any Atelier? What? Really, sis? Can you go anywhere with this? Even if we can't take you anywhere, I'd say it's limited to pieces where the strength of the Dragon Vein is above a certain level. Places, sorry. Claria heavily affected by the Dragon Vein?
Berry stones are a staple product of Claria, so are they not? Berry stones are created through the exposure of power blasting out from the Dragon Vein.
Nemid has a dragon's passage, so of course it'd be close to the Dragon's Vein, or right above one. Wow, you're a fast learner. I praise you. Don't treat me like a child.
Can you take us to Windle, too?
We won't be able to cross worlds with just this, so I'm guessing he was trying to make that possible.
Well, even if we can't go directly, we can get in the mid, where the passage is, that's a shortcut enough.
Patty, I think you should return home, when we're near the capital. Aw, Tao getting worried. No, I shall accompany you until this journey of everyone comes to an end. I've already informed my father of this, so please don't worry. No, he's not worried that like you're gonna get in trouble, he's worried for your safety. Shit's getting a bit real now. Patty, I know you love your man and everything, but he's worried about you, that's all. Hey Ryza, do we have a destination for the present? I think both Clara and Namid for now. In Sardonica, I want to find out more about alchemists in the old times, and in Far, I want the structure of the dragon veins and passages.
From the tablet and key, we will obtain a technique to go one step further, to cross worlds.
It might be good to see how Windle is doing. Oh, I don't think it's necessary to make an effort to return. We can leave it for another time. Yes, definitely for another time. Carla? You don't want to go back, do you?
I got a tomboy to have booty shorts.
But before that, do you think I could go and say goodbye to my family? Of course. Yeah, go talk your heart out. Thanks, you two. Yeah, it's slightly concerning times. Everyone's giving me time, so let's go home. It's slightly concerning times with like what the future could install. So yeah, like, hey, can I like say, like, hey, I'm going on like a pretty fucking dangerous adventure to my mum first, so she can try and stop me. Damn it. Oh. You wouldn't listen, would you? No, okay, we have to go in the house. I guess we have to talk to both of them. They just popped in, I saw that. Starting to see the end to the research, and then it's like I'll be going on the journey again. I see. You're keeping busy.
Almost like Kirk Island is where you come to rest.
Well, this trip might be really short, just making stops here and there. Your absences are getting longer and longer. The villagers miss you. They say there's not enough medicine, and that they can't make requests to you. Aww. If I were to open an alchemy shop on the island, would that put you at ease? Well, that's probably the answer to the question you asked me before about my life going forward, right?
I'd say you're half right. You did well to notice. I've been running into similar situations quite a lot recently. It's not that I don't think about that at all, but I'm doing something really important now. So I think I'll decide about my personal things a little later on. Until then, let me be your easygoing daughter at home. Oh, you're all grown up, Ryza. So long as you don't trouble people with your easygoingness. Speaking of people, I met a lady called Carla in the field today. She's quite an interesting one. Did she do anything weird? Good, a nice long chat with them. Alright, let's go back to hang on, I just realised. A portrait, that second one, although it's like kind of a mess, is that supposed to be like... Oh no, it's just in a part of town. I was like, it'd be cool if on like the fireplace, it had almost like pictures of Ryza's past adventures. So I was like, well, that doesn't look like the capital city at all. Actually, I think she has something like that in her room, doesn't she? I think we pointed it out. Yeah, she has like the first game's map over here and the second game's, but for some reason when they printed out the JPEGs to put on the wall, they didn't use the raw file, so you can literally fucking see like the icons. You can see that like they had the icon on like over this passage over here. They had all the clouds all over it. There's still like, you know, an objective marker there. Like there's still clouds blocking chunks of the map, and then over here you can see like the shadow lines. You can see a fucking ruins on the map. Like, come on, guys. They must have had like a raw file of just the artwork somewhere, right? There's no way they had to like load, because that they didn't know where they had to load up Ryza 2 and Ryza 1 and take a screenshot and then transfer it into a JPEG to put it here and then just blur out the text. Like, come on, guys. Like, there's no way. I refuse to believe they lost the original artwork of the maps. Alright, I was gonna say, what was that world quest? I already know what that world quest is. Go to the Carl's Atelier. This reminds me of discarding maps out back in my place. Yeah, fair enough. I used to have maps on my wall, but nowadays I just have like scrolls and general posters. Like I have a Neptunia 10th anniversary scroll on my wall. I have a Death and Request 2 scroll. I have a Mary Skeletor Finale poster. I have... Wait, you didn't play Skyrim back then? No, I used to have maps. When GTA 5 first came out, and I was still learning the map, I had the map on my wall just above my TV, so at any point I could glance up and know where I was. So I did, because, you know, there was no overlapping map in GTA 5, so I cheated and used that. I have a Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey Redux poster. I have 4 BB Tag posters, because the collector's edition came with 4 posters. I have the... This one might be a blast from the past. You know, if you brought Halo 3 new when it first came out, you got a poster of, like, gold armor Master Chief with the Arbiter in the background. I still have that on my wall. From, like, 2007. I still have that on my wall. Sorry, I'm turning around. Oh, I have the launch poster for Final Fantasy X HD Remaster. It literally says coming out on the poster for, like, the PS3 Remaster. So that one's kind of an old one as well. Oh, and I have a Devil May Cry 4 one, which is the blueprints of Red Queen as a poster. I have a couple other things. I have a Doom Eternal, like, metal plaque plate thing that I have pinned to the wall. It's tiny, it's not a big plaque, it's literally like an A5 size. It's small. I had to think, I was like, which one's smaller than A4? It goes A5's smaller one, right? Yeah. A1's where it's gargantuan. My brain fried for a second. It's been a while since I've had to, like, organise paper. Sorry to keep you waiting, guys.
What, everyone just stayed here?
Not at all, it's fine.
We're having a much easier time thanks to this book.
Though being grateful to him does grate on me slightly. Hey Lila, things are different now. I'm not depressed, nor am I suffering.
I'm just supporting you of my own accord. Aw, Lila's trying. She's trying. She's like, let me care about you though, fuck's sake.
Ryza, what ideas did you give Lila? She's like this every time I do anything recently.
Give her ideas? That's not a nice way to put it. I just told her the White Fang Warrior not to be... I just told the White Fang Warrior not to be afraid.
You know, to her that's like adding fuel to the fire.
Yeah, Lila's like, let me care about you. Let me give you hugs. Let me, like, make sure you're okay. Let me spoil you with attention. And Empel's like, no, stop it! Go away! It's your fault for moping around. In times like this, I will cheer you up.
Who needs such undignified... Hey, Ryza!
So I let the motorbikes pass. Well then, time to test the device's power.
Blast it! Blast everyone!
Sis, you decide where to go first? Valerio and Namid. Probably the one that's like highlighted. I discussed this with Dion. We don't mind where we go first. Okay, in that case... Oh, it lets you pick, okay. I'm sorry, I've been doing some thinking. It's no use to me to think about this or that.
Ammo. Not good, but I'm not working with my hands. I end up thinking about things I shouldn't.
God, I can relate to that, Empel. Sometimes I can relate to that, Empel. Get distracted, not doing anything, just kind of sitting around. You start thinking of shit you probably shouldn't be thinking of because it will like hurt you. It'll make you feel sad. You're really back in the Atelier in Sardonica, right? There's no mistaking it. How can you tell? They all look the same.
Yes, Ryza's alchemy really is something.
Yeah, can we take a step back to like... Ryza's getting up there in the power level. She's not at like Sophie's level, in terms of like canonical power level of how powerful their alchemy is, but she's fucking getting there.
His alchemy really is something.
It wasn't all my own work, though.
Even so, just understanding the ins and outs and using your own skills is really something.
Thanks. But there is no stopping there. I hope to go even further. Now she's turning into Goku. Now this is to go further beyond. The spirits. She made fucking portals between countries. That's pretty good for Ryza. I say that. Furious like literally made like robots, so I guess that kind of. Yeah, but Lin and Zuli worked fucking hard to get to their level as well. Like, they're the best alchemist of their kingdom. In a kingdom full of alchemists. But Ryza is up there. I think she does... I personally would say she does clear Furious at this point in terms of, like, canonical power. Portals with paintings. Yeah, paintings are already set up. They just supply the ingredients. You do have 1 million damage. Okay, yeah, but that's non-canonical. That's through... You know what I mean? That's through, like, the super items. That's through the bullshit you can pull off in that game. Anyway, this technology is but a stepping stone. A goal in this journey is to discover technology that transcends the world. It's in the battle mix? Yeah, but battle mix is a gameplay mechanic, ultimately. And I know it's got, like, the whole thing of using, like, the goo, or whatever it was called, from the paintings themselves. But getting it that insanely powerful, the 1 million damage, that's not probably canon. That's the player doing it. Just having alternate options and expanding their options, that's the canon side of it. You know? Like, it's like being level 99 and like making yourself all the way to level 99 in the first area. That's not your canon power at that point. It's just what you've made her. You're talking ludonarrative dissonance then? If that's what that means, then yes. That's quite the task. As in separating what you do with it in the gameplay in terms of what its narrative consequences are. The narrative consequences of what Lily and Suli's power are is that they are insanely powerful, but it's the gameplay, it's what the player puts into it that makes it the million plus damage. On its default, no, it's not that broken. Like, in terms of its story purposes, it's just in gameplay purposes, you can rip its head off. And, like, one-shot anything you want. It's like, because using that argument, I could say, yeah, but we made a hammer that stun-locked a super boss to death. Doesn't that make Ryza more powerful? You know, like, it ends up falling into the same trappings. Which is weird. She pronounced it perfectly. I think it's more because I've heard both words before. Doesn't mean I know what they mean. Anyway. But it is what we have to do. If there's anything you need me for, I've got your back. Thanks, I'll be counting if you need anything. Well, have you learned anything new or discovered our next task with this teleportation? Well, if the key and tablet were made by the code of the universe, then we might be onto something perhaps. And to be fair, like, to take a step back for a second, if we're going to start comparing power levels, we have to kind of acknowledge that, like, the Atelier franchise kind of makes up the rules as they go along when it comes to how powerful characters are. You know? Like, a dude, like, made himself practically a god, and Sophie beat him in the first game, and yet in Sophie 2, she's, like, bottom of the bucket. Like, she's got some talent, and she's finding her footing, and, like, she's pretty good, but she's not that great, still. You know? And then in Furious, we're supposed to believe that Furious has a shot at trying to, like, get better at it than her, and Sophie joins at, like, a middling level when she joins the party, finally. You know, like, they kind of make up the rules as they go along to suit whatever purpose. In my headcanon, Sophie's an obscenely godlike alchemist, but that's just me. Well, we can still just mosey about here for a while. It's been a while since we were here last. Be nice to have a quick look around and see what's new. And don't go having too much fun. Federica, it's been a while, right? Why don't you pop over to the Union headquarters for a visit? I guess I can. They have been writing me, but since we are here, I will check on them myself. Is that supposed to be I've been writing to me, not I've been writing me? Oh, whilst we're here, we can upgrade all this as well. And when we go back to Namid, we'll upgrade all that as well. Actually, no, I can just do... There we go. My Batman's most very OP and raw physical power. Yeah, I get what you mean. Like, in terms of gameplay, absolutely. Battle Mix is absurd. Like, I didn't even find, like, the full range of its power, and even I felt it. Even I was like, yeah, no, this is stupid. It's a super cool idea, but man, was it broken as shit. But in terms of, like, in the story lore, no. In the story, that's not the power that Lily and Suli are ripping out. You know, like, in the story, no, they're, like, up-and-coming alchemists still finding their footing and all the rest. What a mechanic. And that's fair enough. It's different interpretation at the end of the day with that sort of stuff. You can see as, like, your power and how much more powerful you make your characters, whether it's through battle mix or just in general, whatever mechanic the game has, as a symbol of what, like, their strength in the narrative. It was just for me personally, it never, like, felt that way for me. It felt more that was the gameplay side of it, and in the story side of it, although it was a crutch that they used, because, you know, they even say in the story that they wouldn't have got far without the paintings. It was a crutch to help them find their footing, and then they kind of found their way throughout it. So it was still a helpful tool, but it wasn't, you know, this, oh, by the way, I'm just going to put this bomb together and some red powder together, and oh, now I've just done 6 million damage. You know? Yeah, same way the canon characters do. I guess. I see your point. Oh, there's a world quest here we can do. Speaking of Lily and Suli, though, I want to... I want to see them again. I think that's the problem, though. It's like, I want them to do a 5th Mysterious game, but at the same time, like, when does it just start showing bias? You know? When does it start to come across that, like, Gus have a favourite? You know? Because I said before, the only reason they did a 4th one is because they did a public vote, and people voted for Sophie, so we got Sophie too. Like, you know, if they'd voted for Furious, we would have got Furious 2 instead. The trilogy. Yeah, but you know what I mean. I miss them. Like, I want to see them in a new setting. I will go back to those games, not in terms of replay on stream, but to platinum them and eventually go for it. But you know what I mean. Like, in terms of, like, I miss experiencing what was next for them. It's you again. Hello. How have things been? I'm going to tell you the truth. Business is booming. I had no idea how much demand there would be for something as simple as food delivery. It's like we struck gold with Claria. Goodness, that's, wonderful. Would you be interested in more work? This time I'll give you a bonus! I can tell you're not playing around. Last time was fun, so why not give it another go? I should mention that this time you need to make 3 deliveries. Also, the address is a little vague, but I'm sure you'll figure it out. You know what this reminds me of? And I know, like, no one in chat's gonna get this because this is just me. SpongeBob Revenge of the Flying Dutchman. What the main quest of Downtown Bikini Bottom when you're in there is delivering, like doing home delivery with like Krabby Patty orders, and you have to like, you like at first like SpongeBob was like, okay, I'll do a couple. You do a couple and then you get 3 more. Then you do a couple more and you get like 5 more. And like the whole premise of the quest is like learning how each street works. Like, the whole premise at that point in the game is just learning how each street works, learning what each street is called, learning where they hide the addresses, and then navigating all of them. So when the orders get more and more vague as you go through it, you still know where you're going. Like, you still know what it is. That's what this is kind of reminding me of in a weird way. There's like, we're going here, but now it's like the deliveries are slightly more vague, so you gotta figure it out a bit more. The only difference is, in Revenge of the Flying Dutchman, you did not have a fucking map. You had to just learn the lay of the land. Which wasn't too bad. It was 3 squiggly roads that met at the start, in the middle, and at the end. So it's like, even if you picked the wrong road, if you were near the middle, you can transition to a different road if you knew what each road was called. You know? So when it was like, oh yeah, number 6 Shellfish Lane. If you were on Plankton Avenue, you could just kind of like, and say you were near address 20, you could just keep on running along, and eventually you could find like address 30, which is next to a cross point, which would let you get to the next street. Like, you eventually just kind of learnt the lay of the land. It was actually kind of like a nice and interesting and relatively dynamic quest that you did in that game, which is saying a hell of a lot, because don't get me wrong, as much as I have nostalgic feelings for that game and enjoy it for what it is a complete piece of shit. Like, the game is extremely clunky. You can tell this was a 3D platformer made in 2000 kind of piece of shit. Like, you know, like, it's aged awfully. It's aged like an open beer in the summer. Like, it's aged awfully. A forgotten beer. Like, it just kind of stinks now, and you kind of wish you'd just washed the mug out by now. And it's just got all foamy. Like, that's like Revenge of the Flying Dutchman. I'd love to cover that game one day, if it ever gets added on the backwards compatibility list, but I don't know if it ever will. Not just because, you know, it's kind of not good, but also because the developers that made that game straight up went bankrupt like a year later. Which is why Battle for Bikini Bottom was done by Heavy Iron Studios, which was a blessing, because Battle for Bikini Bottom is like one of my all-time favorite games. And if Blue Sky Interactive made it, I don't think it would have been even as close to as good. But Revenge of the Flying Dutchman has you holding R1 just to be able to jump properly. Because if you jump without it, it's more of a hop. You don't get a proper jump. You have to hold a button and then jump. But if you hold it whilst you're already moving, SpongeBob won't jump. So you have to actually stop moving, then hold R1, then press jump. It's that kind of, like, clunky old. But it did have some pretty cool ideas, and that was one of them. I liked figuring out the road. I also like figuring out how to climb the lighthouse in Goo Lagoon, because there's, like, no proper platforming on it at first. So you have to realise that there's, like, a tree next to it that you can, like, that you can jump up if you, like, like position yourself on a rock. Like, you have to like position yourself on like an edge like this, and then the tree is like here, and you can just reach it if you do like a big jump from it. And then from there you can jump onto a window from the lighthouse, and then from there start working your way up and around it to the top. I like that it wasn't just find the platform, you actually had to be a bit more ingenuitive about it. Oh, we need to find the NPC that wants this parcel. Let's just start talking to people. It also has a rhyme in it that for some reason I've never forgot. And because there's a point where... Because in Revenge of the Flying Dutchman, you're collecting, like, these metal pieces that make letters that then spell out SpongeBob. So it's basically like you're spelling it, like trying to spell the word. Because if you get all the letters, you can get one of the Flying Dutchman's treasures. Because you need all the treasures from all the areas to seal the Dutchman again. Larry has one on his belt that he won from, like, a karate competition. And SpongeBob needs him to give up that belt so he can get the letter. So he starts pestering him and singing at him. And he goes, "Oh, there once were two fellows who met on a beach. One needed a belt that seemed out of reach. It had a big letter that opened a treasure, but the big guy who had it did not want to remove it. So SpongeBob decided to sing him this song. And if you think I'll stop, then boy, are you wrong." And for some reason, I haven't heard that song in 17 years, but I still remember it word for fucking word. Like, any SpongeBob song from when I was like 5 or 6 years old, I have ingrained into my soul, and I will never be able to forget it, even if I don't want to remember it. Like, you could literally shoot at me any song from like the first few seasons of SpongeBob, and I'd know it off by heart. Like, I know the campfire song, and I know how to keep up the pace with it as well. I know when you pause for breath in the preparing the Krabby Patty. I know when I can sing Goofy Goober Rock word for word, both the film version and the soundtrack version, because they use different lyrics. Because the film version says "no frickin' way," whilst the official soundtrack says no way, because, you know, fricking is too powerful of a word, I guess. Who am I looking for in this area, for fuck's sake? Is it you, kid? Campfire song's fun to do, though. Because the whole point of the song, it's not the song itself, it's the fact that you have to pick up how quickly you sing it as the song goes on. So it becomes a literacy test to an extent, because part of the song is spelling out letter for letter campfire song. And so you need to be able to do it, and then do it quicker, and then do it quicker. And so it was fun as a kid, because it was the intention of the song was that it taught you how to fucking spell, or it helped you spell better, but then it was doing it quicker. I don't know why I started this tangent. I know we were just talking about like a fucking side quest in Revenge of the Flying Dutchman, but now I'm here. Who wants this? There's another NPC on the end. Like, who's the NPC I'm looking for here? Is it you? It better be. Fuck. Who haven't I spoke to in this general area? And I'm not fighting that thing. Oh, is it because I'm at the wrong time of day? They need, like, it's like, you know, like some NPCs are here during the day and some are during the night. Is that what I'm missing? If I come back at the day, will they be, like, super obvious? Is it this cat? Oi. Did you order food? Oh, thanks for the cotton. Now, we talked to that kid. I've got Campfire Song in my head now, god damn it. And it's literally just a literacy test. That's all it is. It's literally just a literacy test. It's a spelling bee test, to be fair, more than anything, but still. Ryza? Ryza, what's going on with your cape? There we go. Alright, let me change it to daytime and then come back and see if that... If there's like an NPC around. Hang on. Because it's gather around the camp. So I've got it in my head. I have to sing it now. Gather around the campfire and sing our campfire song, our CAMPFIRESONG song. And if you don't think we can sing it faster, then you're wrong. But it'll help if you just sang along. CAMPFIRESONG song, CAMPFIRESONG song, and if you don't think we can sing it faster, then you're wrong, but it'll help if you just sing along. CAMPFIRESONG song, CAMPFIRESONG song, Patrick! Song, CAMPFIRE, Squidward! Good! It'll help, dun dun dun, it'll help if you just sang along. Dun dun, oh yeah! Cover album when? Because I lived off SpongeBob when I was a little kid. It's why I can't not. So I knew Goofy Goober Rock word for word as well. I don't know if I do still now. Like if I went to sing it, like if I'd still be like, you know, I'm gonna just. I wish there was a warp in this general area. Because that's the test. It's trying to do, say, campfire song, spelling out all the letters of it quick. Watched him way too often. Oh, it was peak. Like, I say that, like, the first 3 seasons are still the absolute peak of the franchise, but season 4, 5, and even 6 to an extent had some really good episodes. It was just Steven Hillenburg wasn't as involved with the series after season 3, because he worked on the film. So, like, season 3 and the film felt like the end-all be-all of like everything SpongeBob, because afterwards, although there was still some really funny episodes, it wasn't quite the same. And then by the time you get to like season 8 or 9, it's like a shadow of its former self. It's still enjoyable for kids, but it's not as enjoyable for like the people who grew up with it, because it's such a different show by that point, you know? Right, let's see if we can actually find this son of a bitch. Is it you? Are you looking? Hey. It's me watching Digimon Monster Hunter to hold a grudge. It's not the show's fault that you were prevented from watching it, though. It's just siblings. I wanted to watch that instead. I love the first 3 seasons. I really do. I hold the whole franchise close to my heart, even now. It's why, like, you know, I was so gleefully excited for Cosmic Shake, and I did really enjoy that game. It's not Battle for Bikini Bottom, but it was really fun. Where the fuck is this person we need to deliver food to? I was running up to NPCs in the hopes it would trigger a cutscene. Yeah, I've had to choose between hating 6-year-old children or a fictional show. Yeah, I mean, it's not about hating. I'm just saying, like, don't be annoyed. I'm not saying... You can choose the third option, which is just don't be annoyed at either and just take it for what it is. Okay, I'm starting to think the person who ordered this is a liar. They don't exist. They're a myth. Unless it's over here. No. Is it you? Let's pester the other cat. Oi. Oh, have I been over here? I suppose it's better than nothing while we try and figure this shit out. We're going to be here for ages trying to figure out where these orders are. Do you remember where the person is for this? Assuming you've done this quest. You! Found them. Okay, we're fine. They don't appear on the map. Good to fucking know. Great. They don't appear as an icon, like a talk to them icon on the map. Great. Alright. Oh, there's another quest over there as well. Let's try and solve this first. Alright, so now we know to look for... The mini-map doesn't help. So... Oh, I need to go around. What do you want? Is it fighting a monster? Okay, I'm not that first. What? Whoa, weird item placement for like a random bag. How much of the area do I have? Oh, this whole square. Okay. I'm just running up the people mashing X to see if any of them will interact. Is it you? Oh, fucking thanks. Great. Can't wait to try and 100% this game. I hope they speaking of SpongeBob though, I hope and Goofy Goober Rock, I hope they remaster SpongeBob the movie game. Because that was basically like the sequel to Battle for Bikini Bottom before we got Cosmic Shake. Because it was, although it was linear and not like, you know, more open-ended sandboxy like like BFBB is, it was still the same structure of you have to get a set amount of collectible gizmos to be able to proceed. It's just what they did differently in that one is that there would be a gimmick or puzzle at the start of a level that requires you to have a new attack. But to get that new attack, you had to get it from Mindy, who was at the start of every level, and basically buy it from her, and it would cost a set amount of the main collectible of the tokens. And you needed 50 tokens out of, I think there was 72 total to beat the game. Because 40 got you the ultimate attack for SpongeBob, but 50 repaired the car, and you needed to repair the car to beat the end of the game. Because the second to last level was a car level, so you physically couldn't do it. It's either 72 or 74 collectibles. They didn't round it all the way up. Actually, I don't even think it's that. I think it's like 68. Actually, now I think about it. Because the game was rushed. And so instead of like adding a shit ton of extra content, they just basically filled up every level with what it needed to be. And then didn't worry too much about extras. And so the final number being kind of odd is just the nature of the beast. But it's still a really fun game. They cut the right corners to make sure a quality product still came out. It just doesn't have much beyond beating the game. Whilst BFBB... there's exactly 100 collectible things you need, and there's 75 of them you need to beat the game. But a perfect 100 is because there's extra content that, you know, wrap those edges off. And even then, that game was rushed. So, but just movie game was super rushed. There's a whole nother boss fight that got scrapped because of rushing, which is unfortunate that then history repeated itself. That the remake that was going to include that boss fight and like some extra director's cut footage then got rushed and so couldn't include it. And I'm just like, man, this game's been screwed over of having the Squidward boss fight twice. I think we knew, like, it was going to be rushed the moment we heard that they weren't re-recording any dialogue. They were going to be using the original PS2 and Xbox original files for the game. I think that was around that time we knew that the game probably wasn't going to be the director's cut BFBB we wanted it to be. It was just going to be BFBB, but in HD with worse controls. Which is what it is. It's why I say if you ever get curious and want to try that game, try and get the original, not the remake. The remake is still a perfectly fine game to play, but the original just controls better. Because it has, you know, platforming 101. If you tap the jump button, SpongeBob only barely leaves the floor. If you hold it, he then does the full jumping arc. Whilst in remake, it doesn't matter what you do, SpongeBob has the exact same jumping arc. Because they just didn't code in that extra nuance. Which unfortunately neither did Cosmic Shake, which I was like, come on, that was like one of the things that a lot of people criticised, was that the platforming jump didn't feel natural to platform, and yet it was still just as, like, janky. But it was a Far Cry better game. And the fact that the current team, Purple Lamp Studios, are determined to get it right through their own admission, that they've said they know that they're not exactly on the same level that that original title was, but they're determined to keep trying, is commendable, and I really hope they make it. And it helps as well that the whole team, like, unapologetically loves SpongeBob, and it's extremely clear, like, in any interview, what they love SpongeBob and they just want to do it right. And it's just, I feel like sometimes they need to be given more time, and they just don't. Hey, we finally did it. And we'll head back, turn this in, then we'll come back again and check that out. But in general, I just, like a lot of people who are, like, especially in, like, the fandom for the game, just want the original to be more accessible. It's great that we have this remake, and I said casually, it's a fantastic introduction to the game. It's just, when you start looking in the details, or if you've played a lot of the original, you notice all the cracks. You notice how it's not quite the same, so it'd just be nice if the original was more available. It's a success being able to make snap decisions. Let's see what's going on over here. Oh, Carla getting all excited. Sup? Oh, I didn't want to talk to you. I mean, what are you selling? Nothing of interest. Oh, Alchemist, you arrived at the perfect time. Hi, Alberta. What's going on? Actually, I have a small request. Will you hear me out? I'll be happy to if I can help. Thank you. While I was sorting the storehouse for the upcoming festival, I found something of note. Do you know about the Ferrystone storage on the east border of the plateau? Yeah, I've been near there before. That makes this easy then. I've sent a record stating that many Ferrystones have been sent there. It was not noted for what for, nor who requested them, interestingly. There's no record of them leaving. That is odd. I need to, like, correct. I'm wearing shorts because it's so much warmer today, but it's like, I think these shorts are starting to get a bit too small for me, so I keep on having to correct. Sorry. There we go. I believe that it may have been the laboratory on the of the alchemist that established the town. Or the laboratory. Really? The timing lines up too. However, powerful monsters have made it their home. Which is where a capable adventurer like you comes in, Ryza. Would you investigate it? I'm a woman for the job. I'm the woman for the job, not a woman for the job. Jesus. I want to know more myself. Thank you. I'll be counting on you. Where is this Ferrystone? Oh! Here! Finally, we do get access to this. Yeah, I've been wanting to access this for a while. Okay, it's just tied to a random side quest. Got it. Well, the game does say at the start that world quests have a habit of unlocking new things, so this makes sense. Ooh. Damn, I was like, can I jump on this and like ride it down? That'd be fun. Make it a bit of a mini game. Speaking of, I wonder if like I don't know if there ever used to be in like the older games or whatnot, but I wonder if they'll ever have like mini games in like these games. Like, you know, obviously like alchemy is the mini game, but you know what I mean, like little things to kind of spice it up. You know, I remember he was playing Resident Evil 4 and we had the minecart section, and it's like you're on the minecart. It's more like a mini game because you got to try and stop them from getting in the minecart by like knocking them off before they get to you and shit like that. Or like with this, they could do it, but instead like you're throwing bombs at like enemies or like breaking walls ahead of you while the minecart moves. Like, you're just little things to engage in different ways. Like, I wonder if this series will ever like delve into mini games, or they could go like the full like Witcher 3 / Final Fantasy 8 route and just fucking have a card game. Just build a card game and put it in. Like, you're minding your own business and someone comes up and challenges you to fucking triple triad. Speaking of triple triads, that was one of those card games that I genuinely thought I was good at until I played it against someone else. And you know what I mean when I say that. Like, everyone I think has that moment, that kind of reality check when you realize you're actually kind of shit. Like, I could beat all the AI and whatnot in Final Fantasy 8, not in the game. The actual card game, the actual system and whatnot, played it against one person, and like they like played it like they were playing chess. Like, they overthought every single move and like made sure like not only it was like right off the first move as the game decided, but like there was no way I could get out of it. Like, there was no way I could even try and turn it around. Like, they compensated for every single possible card combination I could have. It's why a lot of people prefer Tetramaster, the other Final Fantasy card-esque game, because Tetramaster has far more variables. So it's far harder to get cornered in it. Whilst Tetramaster, no, Triple Triads, sometimes it really just goes down to who goes first. You roll you roll the dice, and whoever turn goes first, they just fucking win. Because they will either take the middle of the board with it, or they will take the spot right next to the middle of the board to bait you into taking it, so they can immediately take your card over. Oh, this is kind of like a mini gauntlet. I know Triple Triad's in 14 as well. I don't know if it's the same or if they altered it or like improved it a little bit. And if you don't know what it is, Triple Triad is pretty simple. You have a 3x3 grid, so 9 squares, and each card has a number and an arrow on it. When you put the card down, if the number on your card is higher than the number of whatever card the arrow is pointing to, it takes over that card, so it becomes your card. When the entire board is covered, whoever has the most cards wins. It's as simple as that. But there's chain reactions you have to worry about as well, which is where the real trouble creeps in. Because if I put down like 6 up and put it on the bottom row, and directly above it is a 4, but directly above that is a 2, I'll take fucking both of them. So now I've got 3 cards, and I've literally, you've now just lost 2. And it wasn't 3x3, it was 4x4, sorry. It was, so you had 16 boxes, but you get the gist. And it was, although it was that simple, it was cruel, because some people come in with like super powerful cards, and they'd be like 8 in every compass point. And like, they put it right in the middle of the board, and you're like, well, now what the fuck do I do? You had to have, like, but it would then corner you, because you might have like a super powerful card that'd be like 10, but only down. But you don't want to waste that now, but if you don't, you can't take over that fucking card, and it's in the middle of the board like a blight. You know? You could cheese it though in 8, and if I ever do a live stream of 8, I'll show you how. As the game goes on, the game tries to add more mechanics to Triple Triad, but when it does, it says, do you want to be tutorialized on this mechanic? Say no, and it will kick you out. it won't let you play it. But then if you go in again and ask again, it will say, do you want to learn this mechanic? You say no again, it'll kick you out. You go in a third time, it won't bring it up. And not only will it not bring it up, it won't implement the mechanic whatsoever. So you can just play normally. If you just do that every single time a mechanic, you'll only have to deal with the absolute basic version of Triple Triad, like the most winnable and like least worrying and least difficult version of it for the whole game. So if you're going for the platinum for getting one of every single card, or getting one of every rare card, I think it is, it's way easier because you just don't take the bullshit super hard mechanics. You should still be save scumming though, because the biggest cruelty of Triple Triad in Final Fantasy VIII is that if you lose a card permanently, and if you win, you take a card from the opponent permanently. So a lot of it goes down to knowing what opponent has what cards you need, saving before you fight them, and then beating them down like 6 times until you get all the cards you want. And if you lose one, just loading your save, because they will absolutely take a card from you that you need. The AI is smart enough to know what's an important card that they should be taking from you, and you could try and fight to get it back, or you could just load your save. You know? The more just fucking spawn in. I know, you probably don't have to fight all of these guys, but The only reason we couldn't interact with the door is probably because we were spotted by the last few enemies, but I'm still going to wail on a couple more of these. Oh no, because it's doing the next enemy spawn, it means it's a mini-boss, so you are expected to fight all these guys, got it. God damn it. Okay, we can't open it, we fought enough. Man, you better have enough keys. It's a good thing we did. This quest is so late, so you're almost definitely gonna have them. And that's an actual boss enemy, so we'll have to fight you.
Ryza なら有効活用してくれるよね。敵だ。警戒しろ。皆さんに遅れを取らないよう全力を尽くさ。そこだ。ボス。戦車よ。初めて戦い。迫り来る。見せてみろ。怯えよ。風と私で切り裂く。こっちだこっちだ。この目で。別にやれないんだから。その目で。熱いをあげる。闇の魔法受けてみよ。風よ力を貸してくれ。怖がらない。一瞬で終わるわ。最速最短距離で突き抜ける。今なら鍵が作れるかも。
Oh, adventure tank, gimme.
成功して。よし、できた。
And then die. Let's go and nuke the shit out of it. I'm in 0. Oh, that's fair enough, dude. No worries. Oh, you can charge up all you want, mate. You're done. Oh, Ryza's nearly done, actually. That's pretty heal. We're just working our way through more world quests, obviously. Jesus, I saw that. Plus 1,000. Yeah, do you think the elixirs a good enough heal? But damn, how many keys just burned for this? God, I say that, we're just burning the same key a whole bunch of times because we've got like 20 uses of it, but still. Oh, another one. I'll use this one instead. I can't stress enough, I actually kind of really miss fusing parts together. Like, fusing tools together. Like, I know, like, they kind of, like, pushed it a little more to the side in Ryza 2 anyway, so we kind of knew it was probably going to be gone in this one. Here now, laboratory, the guards was near perfect. Yeah, there are no signs of any fairy stones, perhaps they were used up in this recipe. Alright, I should go back to Alberta. Alright, we'll put that back. But I kind of miss it. I kind of miss, like, you know, having the fucking boom hammer. I'll crack this open as well. Oh, whoops. Really? Nothing up here for breaking the way around? Huh. Yes. Yes, I am your god. Fear me. All these weasels running away from me. About time. Oh, hey, Gem Eater. We done here? Okay, let's go back. Alberto, I went to the fairy stone storage. Did you find anything? Yeah, there was a recipe left by an alchemist, so they made use of that place. But that was pretty much it. Nothing else really stood out. You see, I'd hoped we would find something to deepen our understanding of the craft. Well, the recipe is yours if you want it. It would be better utilized by an alchemist. Oh, do you mean it? Yes, of course, may it serve you well. New entry rank system. No, I don't mind the key system for the most part. It was annoying early game when I was still figuring it out, but once I figured it out, and it's like, yeah, we've kind of been in a situation we've never not had a key ready on hand. But then I've also always prioritized adventure keys, so of course I always had a key on hand. It's the synthesis ones that I was kind of neglecting for a long while. Convoluted BS. It's not that convoluted, it's just pick up a fucking key. And the adventure rank system, that's not convoluted, it's just play the fucking game. And then your rank goes up. And then they let you access more things, so it doesn't overwhelm newcomers. Because if you could access everything at once, you'd be fucked. No two ways around it. People would get severely overwhelmed and drop it. Well, spacing it out and organizing it. What do you mean, bull? For what bit? The key? Because I've just been picking up keys. Adventure rank 43, motherfucker. Yeah, but think of it for people who are brand new, who've just joined. Now we're on like 3.5 or 3.6. If they could just access everything. And like every quest was unlocked. That'd be way too much for some people. That would literally be an overwhelming amount of content. And so devs have to put something in place to make it so it doesn't, like, weigh on you in that way. Because although there's a number of people that will just take it for what it is and find a place to start, there will also be a good number of people that will go, whoa, what the where do I start? And then they'll panic and leave it. Because they're going to be looking over it. They're both open world games. Yeah, but there's still a way of doing it. You know, there's still a way of trying to find a way to make the content introductory enough to let people come in and then seep into it. There's an argument to be made for how long they keep some of that content away from you, sure, because some of it is a pretty high rank. You can make no, I don't agree with that. You can make an open world game and still make it inviting first, instead of just saying here's everything. Because that just drives people away, because it gets overwhelming. You can make an open world game inviting. In fact, it's encouraged. It's why Sonic Frontiers starts you in a linear section before it opens up. It's why this game makes you go through areas you've been to in the first game before it opens up. The system is for? Yeah, but if the game says, hey, there's 26 quests you can do, you're going to go, there's 20 what? But if the game says, hey, there's 3 different quests you can do right now, the rest you can do a little later on, you go, oh, okay, then what one should I go for now? And in Genshin's case, if they come up and said, because how many characters there are, over 40, and then there's also close to 30 Archon quests, and then there's also over 40 side quests per country, and then there's also at least 4 events per update. If you just dropped all of that on someone as soon as they started day 1, they wouldn't get fucking anywhere. Because they would be overwhelmed. That's the problem. They would just be overwhelmed because it's way too much numbers. There's way too much shit going on, and so making it so it lets you access it in pieces until you're high up on the adventure rank. The adventure rank going up naturally as you just do these goddamn quests and play the game more. No, I'm fine with the adventure rank system. I've always been fine with the adventure rank system. Assassin's Creed RPG trilogy. Yeah, I haven't played any of them, so I can't speak for them too much. But I can say that I fucking hate Ubisoft open world games because there's just too much shit going on. And most of it isn't even interesting. Most Assassin's Creed, even in the games I like the Ezio trilogy, had way too much extra BS you had to go track down and do just for 100%. And that just felt like checklists. Which is the word of the day. That's what open world is. Checklists? No. Or do you just mean loads of things? There's a way of doing it. Elden Ring's the perfect example of doing it right. Because there is a shit ton to do in Elden Ring. There's an astronomical amount of things to do in that game. Does it overwhelm you by putting it all on the screen and telling you where all the quests are? No, it lets you figure that shit out in your own time. It doesn't tell you anything. Supposed to be limited? Yeah. You're then agreeing with me. Sorry, you've lost me a little along the way, sorry. Since for a different reason. But Elden Ring lets you figure it out yourself, whilst also having a mountain ton of content. Elden Ring also only lets you zoom out the map as much as you've explored. The maximum limit and the edges aren't... right. Aren't supposed to be limited. They're not supposed to be, limited at the end, but they absolutely can be limited at the start to feed you in and warm you up and prepare you. There can always be an argument for how long that period should last, whether it's just a tutorial or whether it's the first chunk of the game or whatever. But if you just immediately dump them into the field, people will be overwhelmed. Doesn't matter what the genre is, doesn't matter what it is. You just dump them in the middle of all the nonsense and said, oh, there's 100 things to do. People will go, what? And it'll be too much. It's what stopped me playing Witcher 3, because you enter a new area and the game says, oh, by the way, there's 100 things you can do right now other than the main quest. And you sit there and you go, huh? No, I'd rather have entered an area and the game said, oh, here's a couple things you can do. You can go explore if you want, but here's a couple things you can go do. And then when you do it, then it branches out and starts on saying, oh, now you've done this, there's a couple more things you can do, and it starts to go that way. Because then it's more inviting. This is the world. Well, I haven't played that game, so I don't know. I said with Elden Ring, although it does absolutely just kind of drop you on the field, it only lets you zoom the map out as far as you've explored. So you don't know how big the world is, so it immediately eliminates a huge chunk of that overwhelming nature that happens in a lot of games where you sit there and you go, God, the map's how big? because you don't know. You just go explore. And because the game doesn't tell you anything, you explore on your own terms. You explore in your own direction, and you make your own path. And so when it does start expanding out in the latter half of the game, you're way more prepared for it because you're already used to just exploring in your own terms. There's a region to conquer. Yeah, but that's the problem is, instead of throwing out limitations, instead of presenting a region to conquer, is that only applies to some of the audience. It won't apply to all of them. Story for what's given. Genshin, I'd say, has got a lot better of that problem over time by nature of every update adding new story beats. But I do get what you're saying. Whilst Elden Ring, it's entirely lore and investment. It's not an in-your-face cutscene story, but in that's FromSoft's word go. They want you to figure shit out. They don't want to tell you anything directly. That's why you have to read fucking item descriptions. Or read books. Universally. Yeah, no, it applies to Valhalla players who like the game universally. I can guarantee you there's a whole bunch of people, because it's the same with anything, who wanted to like the game, gave it a fair shot, tried it different, and if there was suddenly a whole bunch to do, went, ugh, and either ran out of time, or ran out of time in their spare time to do it and then dropped it, or just lost interest. It was the biggest thing that crippled me out of Witcher 3, even though I liked that game, because there was just too much going on. Now, I'm prepared to admit I have an element of bias on it because I speak from my own perspective. And my own perspective is that if most open world games that just drop everything on me at once, I switch off so goddamn quick because I just lose interest. What are you making this claim on? That people like different things and everyone has different perspectives. And just because people have told you, yeah, everyone likes it, doesn't mean everyone actually likes it. You know? I'm making the claims of people are people, and everyone has different perspectives. And I can guarantee you there's going to be at least a good chunk of people who they maybe either aren't fans or whatever, but gave it a go and felt overwhelmed and so came away. It's just they're not the ones that talk about it because they just played something else. The argument I made? The argument you made... You said it introduces it as something to conquer, but it's still... Or region to conquer, but you said it's not... Basically, it's not limiting, and that's what I'm saying. It's like... Having zero limitations whatsoever can be overwhelming. And it has a history of being overwhelming because of how many games have either lost people over time or just alienated people. And that was my point. There's like arguments to be made about how you handle that limitation, sure, but there's still... Like, if you just throw people in the deep end, you're going to push people away. It's why I don't like most open world games. The open world games I like are the ones that respect that the player doesn't want to be overwhelmed with too much, and so introduces it in pieces and then lets you loose once you've kind of got a feel for it. Issues of alienation, something to do with any limitations. Oh, okay. So I haven't played the game, so I only know so much, and I've no interest in changing that anytime soon because I lost interest so hard in Assassin's Creed over the years. The only one I'm vaguely maybe interested in is Mirage because of that being the whole back to basics, and even then I'll wait till it's out. Anyway, plot. That we're just sitting here staring at these girls staring at Anna. Hello, I'm back. Oh, Deputy Union Head, when did you get back? Just now, all thanks to Miss Ryza. Long time no see, Anna. How did you make a high-speed ship or something like that with alchemy? No, I made a portal. Well, something along those lines. I would like to hear the status report from Saverio and Alberta, but are they in the city? Oh, that's perfect. I was thinking what you base the claims on when you do not play the game. Because even if you haven't played anything, or watched anything, or read anything, nothing in this world is for everyone. And so I can guarantee that not every single person who was even a fan of Valhalla liked the open world aspect of it. You know? Add popular arguments. And I get it, but you kind of went for like the whole... it applies to Valhalla, it applies to University. And yeah, maybe I'm missing a piece, and maybe like I'm not knowing something on it. But for me, like in my experience, no. Even like through Sonic Frontiers, I fucking love that game, and I love what it does its environments. Some people absolutely hate that game's controls, hate that the bosses are just spectacle with no technical attribute, you know? But everyone still says, yeah, I really like the game. It's just there are still aspects of it that people hate. And I wouldn't dare say that. Everyone universally loved this, because that's never true no matter what the game is. Went way over. If I missed a point, then I apologize. It's just that's how, at least to me, it came across, and that's how I understood it. But the point being, we got way off track. The point I'm saying is that it's okay to have limitations on open worlds to make it more introductory for players, and then get rid of the limitations later on once they've got more of a feel of it. And I don't find it as a problem whatsoever personally when they do that. Genshin and Genshin has with adventure ranks does it in a different way, and this game does it in a different way with keys. But the keys is your reward for exploring and using the mechanics, so it doesn't bother me in that sense because it feels more rewarding that you did it yourself. Whilst in Genshin, I'm more prepared to give it a pass because the adventure rank system stops it from being everything at once. Yes, there's an argument to be made about how grindy the adventure rank gets, especially past rank 25. It feels like it takes several days to get a rank up, and then once you're past rank 40, good luck. You're going to enjoy that next week, huh? Trying to get a rank up. But the idea of it and how it's used for the most part, I completely reasoned and understood with, especially nowadays when there's so much more content for it. Okay, has its sole premise. My point is that Valhalla can use basic functions to incentivize players to engage in the open world without limiting where you can go. I don't know. It's sort of like, I know this might be like an abstract comparison, but it's the only thing I can think of. In the Undead Zombies mode of Red Dead Redemption 1, they kind of let you loose on the whole map, but each map was split into districts that had to be cleansed. And so although, the map was still segregated off in an extent, so it wasn't too overwhelming, you could go anywhere theoretically. It was just when you go there, you already knew what you were doing when you got there, so it wasn't as overwhelming for you, because you already knew you were going to try and find a way to cleanse the area. You're going to find a way to make shelters. You're going to be finding a way to do X, Y, and Z. You already had, a battle plan, if that makes sense. Is it kind of like that? I know that's an abstract comparison, but hopefully it makes enough sense. Anyway. Oh, that's perfect. Actually, they're both in the Lamberti family workshop. It's a case where instead of limitation, it's encouragement. It's both an introduction to the bigger game and also an introduction to a secondary encampment. Yeah, so it's kind of, from what I can tell, maybe I'm misunderstanding. I don't play Age of Empires, so I have no idea. But it's you're encouraged to make, settlements then, sort of thing. And it's you have the whole map, you're available. But, say in X region and Y region, if you build these settlements, you can then get influence over it to do X, Y, and Z. So you already have, an indication of what you should be doing, so you have something to go. Now you have the room entry. Aye. Because if that's the case, yeah, although that might not be a direct limitation, it is still something in place to stop it being overwhelming. So yeah, I get that. I see what you mean. Sorry, I don't know why my nose suddenly got all runny. I don't think it's hay fever. I hope it's not hay fever. Ugh. I think it was a funnel. Yeah, because that's the thing. The point I'm making at, and it's not and I will change my point slightly, but I'll stick to the premise. So keep with me on this. Is that for me, you can't just drop someone in the open world, in an open world game, because it will just get people off of it. It will just make people lose interest. There has to be either something to lead you into it, from what you've said, with AC Valhalla, where you immediately know exactly what you're going for, and so you're kind of, I guess, funneled in is the term, because you have your focus, you lock on to what you're doing, so you go do it, you go set up your encampments, you go start helping out, taking districts and whatnot. But equally, I'm completely understanding to Ryza using gameplay mechanics as an incentive to encourage exploration, getting keys. There's an argument to be made about the RNG with keys, but you get what I mean. And Genshin, by just making it that, although yes, it kind of does at first, because it makes you go straight to the main plot first and do that, and then it unlocks Adventure Rank properly, and then it unlocks the world. It makes you do Prologue Act 1, I think. It makes you get introduced to Mondstadt as a city, and get your glider, and then it lets you do the rest. And then, with Genshin, then afterwards, every time you get the adventure rank up, for a good long while, it's every rank there's new quests for you to do. But when you do those quests, you get so much more experience that just exploring the map will also then get your adventure rank up to the next one, and it keeps that way up to rank 20. It's why you can get to rank 25 in the span of 3 or 4 days, because it keeps up this routine of you have things to do, you do them, you explore the map while you're at it. Through exploring the map, treasure chests also get you adventure rank points. exploring the map and doing puzzles, you get more points. You do quests, get more points. You've hit the next rank just as you're around about finish. You then have more stuff to do. So then it kind of, I guess, spoon-feeding you is the way to put it. It spoon-feeds the content in a manner that stops it being too much in one go. And I make the key issue either. Like, the thing with... I'm more defensive, personally, with Ryza, because I genuinely love games that put player incentive as the requirement to unlock something. And through this game, it's you have to be the one making the keys. You know, it's not the game, like, you beat a quest and the game gives you the key for the door. You have to be the one making the key, and then you're rewarded by being able to unlock shit. Doesn't mean that there's not problems with it, but this is Ryza 3. Everything in Ryza 3 is the epitome of, I really like what they're doing, it's not perfect though. You know? But I'm aware of my bias in that again. But do you know what I mean? My nose is really runny. I don't know why. I might have to go blow my nose in a sec. But let's finish this cutscene at least. Everything seems fine with the... Oh, is this, Severio? Everything seems fine with the smoothness of the joints, but I would like to make a few more adjustments to the density. Is this required? If it's used properly, it seems a difference in transparency can be produced. However, the solvent... The problem actually with the key system, because I think I know maybe at least it's one element or what you're going to say, is the fact that having it be player incentive and player incentive progression is really badass up until the point it's random, and then it doesn't feel so good. Sometimes it feels like you just get lucky and now you've got the key you need. And that one is like, yeah, that's a problem. It should be fixed. Or to a degree fixed. Like, if you need a blue door key, there should be a manner of making a blue door key that you know will make you a blue door key. Not a, you keep on trying and hope you get lucky. On elements plus the key required category adventure rank symbol effect. And the solvent. And then it could be like, oh, Deputy Union Head. Oh, and the Alchemist. Who brought you back all of a sudden? Or what brought you back? After this cutscene ends, I'm gonna go, like, blow my nose. I know that sounds awful. I think it's just, like, glimmers of hay fever kicking in. Because I was fine first thing this morning, but it's literally just a runny nose. I see, so it's the alchemists who have business here. You seek information about the ancient alchemist mentioned in the old stories? Yes. It seems he was a very important person. Could you look him up for me? I'd love to help, but the Young Glasswork Guild doesn't know a thing when it comes to these kind of old matters. Very well, Alberta, please look into this matter within your guild. Severio, please search the Liberty family storage for any clues. Like, if we had an encyclopedia section the same way we have for ingredients, it'd be a long way to make the key system tolerable. Yeah, because in the encyclopedia, it just tells you what all the keys are, not what the keys can do. If that makes sense. Like, it'll say, like, hey, you can find a moon blue key. You can find, like, you know, this astral super key. It doesn't tell you what's on them, it just tells you, it just shows you the key shapes, the sort of thing. I'm happy to be of service, but wouldn't you be revealing secret crafting techniques? Like, if you clicked on the key on the encyclopedia, and it came out with a list of, like, everything you could get on it, it would be better. Yeah, that I agree with. Tighten the results of the key and remove the RNG. Or maybe not remove the RNG, but maybe make it that the RNG only affects things that aren't important to plot. You know? Maybe have, like, adventure effects and synthesis effects be fixed to the key, but just, like, your buffs, like, if it gives you an attack buff, make that be RNG. So there's still, like, an element of, like, experimentation and seeing what you get with, but it doesn't compromise actual progression, you know? Like, so you've still got, like, some, like, individuality with what you randomly have the chance of getting, while at the same time not pulling you back, still making it player ingenuity or solving the puzzles by you getting the right keys and the right things. We say all this, but this whole game's about its key, so if they ever do another open environment game, I wouldn't be surprised if there isn't a key system, because it's literally in the title, Secret Key. It's like how we didn't expect another painting world after Mysterious Painting. When I say that knowing damn well that they kind of sort of made pseudo-painting worlds in Sophie 2, where you go to, like, those special realms at certain points in the game, so they could just make up another thing that kind of serves the same purpose in a future title. Anyway, I'm happy to be of service. Wouldn't you be revealing secret crafting techniques to me that would be considered Lamberti family treasure? There's no reason to keep them hidden now that I know the attempted harmony in its research will not be disrupted. Well, if that is the case, I shall look into it. I'll leave the storage to Severio. However, in regards to reconciliation, one problem has cropped up.
We've been on a quest to take our techniques to new heights, but the Due solvent solution has reached its limits. Reached its limits? We learned that the concentration of the solution is not high enough to fully bring out the effects of our most intricate processing techniques. Oh, it was lacking, you say? Why have you got that grin? Don't mean to question your abilities, Alchemist, but... I know, but the solution's concentration is not pure enough. How do I solve that? Miss Ryza, it feels shameless of me to ask, but could you do me a favour? Oh, of course, we're in this together. Besides, I wouldn't ignore a friend in need. Right, before we do that, I'll be back in a sec. I'm just gonna go, like, wipe my nose. Sorry, back in a sec. I'm back. I'm not even a vital mechanic to chance the opposite of incentive. Yeah, that's what I agree with you on. That's why I was saying, with the keys, they should make the stuff that's important, like the synthesis effect and adventure effect, like not RNG or not random, because then it's up to you to make them and up to you to get them. But little side attributes, like, you know, boosting stats, no, that can still be RNG, because then that doesn't affect, that's not affecting your progression. That's just a little bonus you might not have expected. Or influenceable RNG, I think might be a good way of putting it. Because there are influenceable RPG, like, you can make it so it's like, it will always be an attack buff, but the RNG is, will it be just an attack, or will it be physical attack, or will it be magic attack, or something like that. That's how I would handle it, personally. Because then you've still got some, like, randomness that, like, helps add, like, on replayabilities, like, slight differences, without it being, like, over the top, while at the same time, it doesn't feel like you're being, like, you know, potentially restricted just because you got unlucky. Should ever have a guaranteed buff. That makes things too easy to abuse. Yeah. I see. So the Due solvent solution is as vital to the city as the seeds of lights are to fire. Ryza, isn't it possible to synthesize the thing by yourself and raise its concentration? Well, I've been synthesizing it to be as pure as it can be to begin with, so it'll be hard to make it even more concentrated, I think. In cases like this, it would be much easier just to look for a more concentrated fluid. So why don't we go back to where you got it before and gather some more? If we go back there, we might be able to find a more concentrated fluid, right? I can think of at least 3 different ways to abuse buffs from the Code of the Universe keys. I don't worry, dude, I put in the blank. Right there, you'll be able to find a more concentrated fluid, right? Everyone, what are we supposed to be doing now is, no need to be so stiff, we're friends. We help each other out and ask each other for help. And she says it's not a bad thing to rely on others. Since Ryza's the one who decided for us to come here, there's no reason for us to say no if she thinks we should do it. I'm not going to disagree with you either, but is it okay to just set the research aside? If I focus too much on one thing, I'll get closed-minded. It's good to take my mind off things at times for something else. Yeah, I feel that one, Ryza. Well, this sounds like a very good point. We don't even know where to begin if we search the storage, right? The right person. The right person for the right job.
I'm actually pretty intrigued to learn what it's like deep in the mountains of this land as well. Let's all give it our all for Frederica. I have no idea what we're looking for, but leave it to me. Please help me, sir. What? Something seems off. Aren't you going to tell us to be more careful? Yeah, just be yourself, Frederica. Yes, everyone. Let's do it. Dion, please don't go off on your own. Of course. Look at Ryza, like a big proud sister. Well, let's head out. The fuck's the Genesis stuff? Oh. And what's rare alchemy? Oh god. Reduces item wait time, reduces CC consumption of items by up to 2 if you bump it up to max. Oh! Oh, this changed! I guess because we're exploring all the lands and not just in the camp now. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, if I... We never use it, but I might as well at least get the food buffs. And we picked up this as well. Is this also Grand Oregon? Yes, it is. Grand Organ, sorry. What do we need? Section. Oh, okay, so not yet. To be fair, honestly, we probably don't need to upgrade our equipment again. Call it a hunch. Like 827,609, 764, 596, and 857, 628. Yeah, I think we're probably fine. I just go way down there, huh? I mean, whilst we're in the area, how many hours we got left to kill them? Yeah, we can go kill the Mirage Master, wherever the heck that thing is. It's just a huge area to look for it. There's another motorbike. There's another motorbike. Oh, maybe it's the maybe it's the enemy on the mini map. Yeah, let's fight this guy quick. We really don't need to. It's not like money's a problem, but still. Right, then we'll have to try and remember to turn that in. I won't, but I can try. Okay, the underworld has such different vegetation than that of Orem. Oh yeah, right. Takala, our world, is the underworld. Right, I keep forgetting that. Is this the duet stock solution? What do you think?
The ingredients flowed here and from that waterfall, right? Should we trace the source of the waterfall? No. In this case.
I would say there is a more concentrated source more downstream. How do you figure that? This water contains hints of magic, which would be mostly due to the proximity to the dragon vein. That's probably why it works so well with fairy stones. I see. I have lived my whole life and had no idea. Well, dragon veins are basically invisible. But there's definitely a great flow of power. It certainly has more than just a small effect on Mother Nature. Does that mean even the flow of this river might follow a dragon vein? That's right. If we follow the river downstream, we are more likely to find a more concentrated source with magic. Wow, just by looking at this, you can expect nothing less from the Nelder.
She was looking everywhere like a child, but I guess there was a reason for it.
Are you making fun of me, little kiddies? If it leaks out magical power like this, then Orange should be able to harness it. What do you mean? I don't get it.
Dion, if you want to become a top-class warrior, then you gotta get a grip of the basics here.
Top-class warrior? All lands outside of Namid are complicated and difficult. Okay, let's make our way downstream.
Isn't literally?
Oh, right there. Oh, we tried to get in there at one point. Okay, that's cool.
Oh, I was gonna say, can I get on the ice?
Wait, doesn't that fog seem to be... Hold on. There's a high level of magic within this fog. This is what we came for. This is way more intense than I imagined. Leaving this in for too long would be toxic.
We won't be able to go on like this.
What are we going to do then? Empel, this is also a result of the Dragon Vein, isn't it?
Is an indirect consequence, yes.
Which would mean... I'm gonna throw my fucking key in it. You can use it this way. So you used the effect of the key to gather power around you and the fog went away.
It's a great tactic, but... it attracted Mr. Hollow Knight over there.
It seems to be the home of some monsters.
Sorry, but we need you to leave.
Temple warriors. Oh, these guys are kind of cool. We're still out-leveling them. Oh, we got frozen. Oh, you bitch.
I was frozen today.
Oh, I have like no CC. Now I do. Bruh, our level. Well, there are big ones like this everywhere, aren't there?
I hope this is the only one like this. Alright, let's check a little deeper, shall we?
Hey, what about this? It appears to be much more concentrated than what we saw at the waterfall. Perhaps we can use this to synthesize a higher concentration of solvent. Wow, everything's going so smoothly.
Well, our group is quite diverse now.
I wonder how much we should bring back. As much as we possibly can, since I plan to ask both guilds to undertake a quest for this. I've made the preparations to bring it back, but we're going to need to do a lot of heavy lifting. Empel, I'm going to need your help.
Well, it doesn't seem like I have much of a choice, do I?
I'm sorry, I'll try to carry as much as I can. Don't worry! Being a travelling merchant, I've got to be physically fit. We are trained to carry around and unload goods. The same goes with my sword training. And you said short training. For the sake of my friends, I will bring back as much as I possibly can. Thank you so much, everyone.
Even though we all know the way back, don't carry too much, then it'll be a burden to you.
I know you're just trying to reduce your own load. The gist I get is that I also have to carry some. In a weird way, this is pretty enjoyable.
Doesn't really sound like a fun topic there.
This will help Federico a lot. So this is a fun topic for me. More importantly, Len, you think you can draw a map?
Well, of course. If it's like simple, I can check with Lilia and finish it in no time.
A warrior can even draw a map? In my village, only the best could draw maps. If you draw enough, one day you'll get good enough at it.
I have checked the whole location. It seems like that was the only monster that lived here.
Seems like this was the so-called master of the cave. I doubt anyone who visits here in the near future will be attacked by something like that. The map. Consideration for future visitors? You were all preparing for future gathering runs. Yeah, we didn't do a great job last time, so we're going to make sure we do it this time. Thank you all so much. Oh, why are you crying like that? Ryza, Claudia, Patty, stay here with her. The rest of you, please take turns packing and guarding whilst gathering. Aren't you forgetting someone here?
You have the exact opposite effect.
That's not very nice. Get out of it so I can loot this. Oh, here we go. Now what do I need to make with it? Okay. Solution EX. Nice, and then deliver it. What is saying? I'm sure it's been lost in London, so Berto and Savario take a look at it right away. People are saying more things. I wonder if the two of them are at the Union headquarters. Okay. People, stop! Okay, I thought what people were talking. It's like, no, let me warp! Stop warping! Stop talking, even! Well, we have an improved, more concentrated version than before. Please take it. Thank you so much, Master Alchemist. With this, I can try things out much more freely. I can improve the mixing and combination skills. I don't know if this will help at all, but Lent drew this map to the gathering site. However, if the fog is out, avoid going there. It is pretty dangerous. Well noted. Training our deputy union head and all, we are sure indebted to you, Master Alchemist. No, there's no need. I'm also indebted to Federica and Federica, who has helped us out in so many situations. Ooh, I'd love to hear more about that. Please don't embarrass the poor girl. Please don't, Alberto. Anyway, Anna, please write this down. Yes, ma'am. In regards to the circumstances of the two girls, we need ruling on this matter from the deputy head of Sardonica Craftsman Union. I hereby order the creation of the Seneschal statue for the Seneschal Festival to both the Ferrystone and the Glasswork Guilds. We humbly accept that order.
We will not let you down.
For the creation of the Sentinel statue, we have skills to pass down to you, who are now used to utilizing the solvents.
What?
The Lamberti family has been refining rings just for this occasion. Please, to our workshop. Yeah, Ryza being, like I said, once again, a proud big sister. Good luck, Federica. What shall the rest of us do? Should we head back to the atelier? Yeah, I guess so. Anna, could you please let Federica know? Yes, for sure. Alright, let's go back home. Here she is. Federica, did you finish telling them about the skills? Even with those two, this cannot be done in one day. Can you allow us a few days? I see. It won't be done here quickly either. Anyway, the main reason I'm here is that I am here to deliver this.
This is a document the alchemists used to teach the craftsmen how to work with ferrystone?
Yes, Severio found it at the back of the warehouse. As for the contents, it is pretty much as we discussed previously. Let me take a look. The alchemists have been in town for a time, devoting their time to the creation of items using fairy stones. Tools using fairy stones? It's written here that there's a magic ball that can take you anywhere. Take you anywhere, huh?
So the ancient alchemist was looking for a way to transcend space using ferrystone.
But they couldn't create something that worked like what Ryza had restored. The alchemists seem to have left the city around the time of that failure. You cannot handle a ferrystone without relying on alchemy. Then you are not a master craftsman. Also, I found this alongside that document. It doesn't seem to be just a drawing. Well, it looks like an alchemy recipe.
Could it be how we made that ball?
Let's see. Hold on. I'm gonna try and make it. Also, like, you're kind of overbearing, just kind of appearing next to us and being a giant. Ferrystone compass. We're getting a lot of plot alchemy. No, I don't want to actually. I'll give it a fair, at least a few things. I was like, actually, I don't want to waste that. That's good. Isn't this just some normal ferrystone, right? Yes, it requires some special kind of treatment, but I have no idea what. AKA, go to the other area as well. Uh-oh. Miss Ryza? I knew it. I was sure there was some kind of special power.
We can go anywhere.
I mean, the recipe was left by the alchemist that was studying teleportation, right? Yes. Even if you don't fully understand it now, I think it will be of some use to you. And this is all thanks to Federica.
Yes, you have done an amazing job. More than we could have ever imagined.
No. We are all friends, and I did what I could for my friends, so I'm very happy. For now, I'll just adjust the tablet and research this crystal. Federica, please focus on teaching them your skills. Yes! I'm going to go for a quick walk around town, maybe pick up some inspiration. Yeah, go kill time. That's what that's about. Also, we need to go report this before I forget. I mean, we did fight the things, we might as well at least turn it in. One of these days, I'll get like a really good consistent slide that like shoots me off like a missile. This really is a nice place. Claudia! You're taking a breather too? No, I just came looking for... I mean, yeah! Yes, I finished reading those reports sent to me. Working while on the road. Sounds tough. Hold up again while I was away. I'm trying to finish everything little by little. Did I say something weird? No, the opposite. You're not saying this is my fault or sorry for all the trouble I'm causing. It's just... because a good friend doesn't shy away from relying on friends. You do the same too, right? Yeah, I'm happy you feel that way. So, how did the report look? Well, for now we are undertaking background checks on certain people, it seems. Ooh, maybe I shouldn't have asked. I don't know. You may have something to do with it. I think we'll be able to discuss it further a little later. I'll let you know when I can. Oh, of course. She got real professional there for a second. And go to the workshops. Which one do I'll go up. Screw it. We can run over there. She got super serious for a second. You know, we'll discuss it later. It's not some spy mission. Alchemist, may I have a quick word with you? I guess. There is one thing I would like to ask. The Deputy Union Head is still planning on travelling you for a while. I think that's what she intends to do for the time being. I see. Well, not that I'm against that, but if that's the case, I'd like to request you create something for me. A phone? Oh, I mean... A brooch? Why me, not one of the craftsmen? I have my reasons, which I would prefer to tell you later. Anyway, could you do it? And also... Yes? Please keep this a secret from her. I'd like it to be created with your hands, Alchemist. Oh, okay. A hammer brooch. And what about the other one?
にちは。職人。
錬金術師殿。
Alchemist.
あ、あれ
Oh, hey, Alberta, what's the matter?
今後のことについて
I want to ask you about your plans.
組合長代理は
Is Deputy Union Head going to keep travelling with you for a while?
そうですね。
Yes, I believe that's what Federica plans to do.
なるほどな。
Okay, not that I want her to leave, but I ask you to create something for your journey.
髪留め
A hair clip? It's a gorgeous accessory, but
どうか何
I'll
も
let you
言
to
わ
make
ず
this without mentioning a word of it.
それともう一つ
Also, one more thing. And that is,
この依頼
I'd like you to create it yourself without the Deputy Head knowing anything. I think I understand. Yeah, both of them just giving me the same quest, basically. Hammer brooch and the flame hair clip.
ライザさん、少しならいいですけど、無限に採掘はしないでくださいね。材料は考えすぎかな。
I need more stock solution. God damn it. Hang on.
考えどこへ向かう？
すげえ鉱山だ。これだけ豊富な採掘資源があるってのは少し羨ましいな。
よし、取れた。えい。
Aha!
よいしょ。よいしょ。えい。よいしょ。
Jesus Christ, you get so much. Look at this.
よいしょ。
Okay, I think that's enough. I'm gonna I'm gonna stop taking the piss.
この地域は
It's just easy to get a hold of.
されているようだ。
入れる場所は
なかなか興味深いところだな。
材料はまだまだすごくなるかも。入れる場所はまだまだすごくなるかも。何入れようかな。レベルアップ。何入れようかな。レベルアップ。こんな、よーし、いけ。何作ろうかな。何入れ
You
ようかな。
only make one? Okay, I need to make another one. Hang on.
材料は考えすぎかな。材料
No, 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 I need that.
入れる場所は材料入れ材料は考えすぎかな。よーし、いけ。何作ろうかな。入れる場所は何入れようかな。どこに入れよう。よーし、いけ。
Alright, that's one.
入れる場所は何入れようかな。材料はよーし、いけ。
That's two.
ここでいいの？よし、完成。ライザ、何を作っていたんだ？
Finished. Ryza, what have you made? I was asked by Severio to make something for him.
それじゃ、
Well then,
ガラス派の
I
本
guess
拠
I'll
地
deliver it to the
を
Glasswork
建てに行
Guild.
こうかな。これで大丈夫？
There you are, my friend.
ブローチができましたよ。
Severio, your brooch is ready.
おう、見せてく
Let
れ。
me take a look. Okay, looks good. I can see you able to understand the drawings.
Well, I have been trained here. But you're not utilizing the luminescence enough. The colors should be a bit brighter too, considering it'll be used formally. Oh, so I didn't pass? No, generally speaking, it's pretty good. Deputy Head won't lose touch if she's with you, Alchemist. Gee, it wasn't much of a request, as it was a test for me. Not just a test. When you next head out, hand this to the Deputy Head. I think she'll be much more encouraged by it than a finished product. I'm not quite sure I like the way you put it. I bet she's going to say the same thing. It's like, yeah, it could be better, but she'll like it. Right. Well, Bertie, your hair clip is ready. Let me see. It's like the drawings. You captured the shape perfectly. Well, that's because I've been trained so strictly here. But the treatment of the surface is a little off. It has to perfectly match what it'll be used for. Pretty hard one to please, aren't you? No, it's not bad. The Deputy Union Head will not lose her touch if she's travelling with you. It wasn't really a quest, but more of a test for me. There's that aspect as well. When you next head out, I'd like you to give this hair clip to the Deputy Union Head. This lack of competition may stimulate her motivation for creating something. Oh, what a humble thing to say. Go to the square after resting at the Atelier. Alright. It's weird just seeing a fucking vortex just sitting in the corner of the room at all times. Like, no, go away. Oh, now we're back to this. Claudia? Ryza! Perfect timing! Huh? The documents I mentioned before have all arrived. That reminds me, is this something about a background check? What did you mean by that? Don't worry, it's not a big deal. It was just a check to find alchemists who are around in big towns. You mean you were checking on other alchemists? Why would you do that? I mentioned it to you, right? Someday I'll need an alchemist so that I can rely on their abilities to help me figure things out. For your mother, right? That's the most important thing, but not only that, I want to use alchemy to achieve greater things. Greater things? Yes, I want a system where everyone can feel the same sense of security I feel when I get medicine made by you. Aww. So you want alchemists to make and appraise medicine for people on a regular basis? That's a pretty big dream, but are there enough alchemists around to do that? That's the thing. There are a few who actually call themselves alchemists, and even fewer that actually use alchemy. There are phonies who just call themselves alchemists. No, that's pretty bad. Even those who can use alchemy are only able to make a limited selection of medicines, and it's doubtful they actually have the skills to make them correctly. And so I was reminded of how great of an alchemist you and Empel are. Well, thank you. You're not going to give up on that ambitious plan, are you? Of course not. I have only just started, so I'm going to take my time and stick with it until the end, once our quest is over. I'll help you too, of course. Like this. So many things keep popping up that I want to do with you, Ryza. Aww. Aww. No, she wants to say it. So... Huh? So please don't make something like the people of the Age of God did, and disappear like them. Yeah, she still wants Ryza to be in her life, no matter what. Don't worry. You actually think I could even think of something that complex? I don't think you're planning to. You might do it out of the blue. No need to worry. I have a close friend who would stop me if I tried anyway. You do. Aww. It's like Claudia's basically saying, like, hey, look, no, I want Ryza, I still want you to, like, be around. I still want us to go on little adventures together, even if it's not all these big things. Like, she still wants to spend her life around her. I'm talking to you, Claudia. Oh, is that so? But I can't rest forever. Do you think Federico is finished? Let's head back to the Atelier. There's a lot of, like, moments just between the two of them. And it's not even like necessarily like romantic build-up or whatnot. It's just like two close friends just having a moment with each other, you know? I'd love for it to go romantic, but I think there's other fish to fry first, you know? Like, she's got to try and help her mother first before she really settles with anything or tries to settle. Sorry to keep you waiting, everyone. I have finished teaching all skills to both girls and given them instructions for handling things while I'm gone. Good job. Now we have to wait for them to finish the Sentinel statue now. I guess you're sad about leaving? I am a little. Don't worry, we're all here with you. There are so many people and faces around you. When out and about together, you'll never be bored or lonely. Thank you all so much. Now, leave the soppy stuff behind and let's move on to the next step. Before that though, I have gifts from Saverio and Alberta. A glasswork fairy stone accessory with a hammer symbol from the Glasswork Guild, and another with a flame symbol of the Fairy Stone Guild? I wonder if this is some kind of harmony craft. If that's the case, it's a weird way of doing it. I'm sure this is probably the easiest way for a craftsman to get their messages across. I had to adjust my voice quickly then, I had to remember whose voice I was doing. The two of them seem to think of our troubles as no more than the Deputy Union head going on a journey to train. They are both worried about you losing your touch and getting rusty. Is that so? Oh, this is something you made, right, Miss Ryza? The luminescence and the way the surface treatment is... That was quick! Ryza's like, fuck, am I that bad? Well, I still have a long way to go as a craftsman. You want to go say thank you? No, this was given to me so I don't forget the spirit of the Master Craftsman. Shall we head off? Let's move on out. Let's head back to the Atelier on the Carkyles. What, we need to investigate the mead first. Oh, is there anything else? Oh, there's character stuff. One. Okay, we're detouring. We'll go do that. And then we'll head off to the other area and get them both done together. What's that? When I grow up, I want to go to the Capital Academy. Oh, you want to go, do you? Well, I'm sorry, I'd love to let you, but we don't have the money to send you there. It costs a lot to go to the academy. Don't worry, I can pay for it. And she like Ryza just shows up with like the money bag. He's not as rich as Mr. Brunnen had some trouble with it. About being nobles or something, I can't grant your dream. Oh, but I want to study lots. I want to learn things the little schools won't tell me. Then get good grades like Tao. If you do, they might let you in for free. Okay, I'll get better grades, then just watch me. I'm in the academy because my father told me to go, but it really isn't the easiest place to enter. Maybe so. I've talked to everyone when I went to the capital, but I'm not a student. I think the only ones that went to the academy from this village are just Tao and Boss in the end. Oh really? No one else? In the first place, not many people even leave Kirkin Island. There's no problem with going to the academy, so it probably just feels like an indulgence. I did teach a bit at the school, so I do think it's an important place where you can study lots. Going to the academy isn't something typical then. I've been very fortunate. I've been thinking a little, since then, about what I should do. I don't want to ruin the house, so it's hard to and for me to just run off like Mr. Lent did. At the same time, inheriting the house simply because of fortune doesn't sit right with me. I don't want to act purely as I'm meant to. So, I thought about what to do, and then it came to me that the academy is there to learn such things. I plan to study much more. I might not have an answer right away, but one day I'll have my own answer. Yeah, I like it. Sounds good to me. At the very least, I'm planning to turn down any talks of a husband my father brings up. I don't want to spend my own life with someone else on a parent's order. Well, at the very least. Yeah, that figures. Is that the end of her thing? No, I didn't get the trophy. I'm not doing Patty, but I'm glad you're starting to see something. Okay, no more quests here. No more quests here. Alright. And let's warp Dion home. Yeah, Dion immediately. This time in the village of Far. Oh, you're amazing, sis. The power to transcend space, right? It's nothing compared to the gates that cross the walls of the world, but it is still incredible. It is amazing how easy it seems to move things around, but I can't believe we need even more than that. Do we need something more powerful to cross the world's walls, or do we need to think of a different way? As an outsider, it is a sobering thought for me. Am I being helpful to you as a companion? It is important to be helpful. Having someone around who cares like you is a massive help too. I'm happy if that is the case. The dragon vein here is so strong that the dragons use it to cross worlds. Here is a good place to research the relationship between the passage and teleportation. Ryza, is your research going to lead us to the gate? At the moment, I cannot say for sure. You might come across it easier than you think. Maybe you will come across a clue unexpectedly. If we could move freely through the gate to get anywhere, even to another world, it would completely change travel, just like this teleportation. Yes, you can go anywhere and take anything with you, the way it's used, the way it feels. Are you onto something? Not exactly, but I wonder if there's a different way to look at things. But it will take a little more time. That's right, Dion. Why don't you go and say hello to the chief and Dere? Got it. I wonder how they're doing. Ryza's already starting to go like, oh, I wonder if we could do this. I wonder if we could do... Like, she's starting to get influenced by the power she's got at her fingertips. Uh-oh. Alright, let's upgrade here whilst we're here. I have enough logs for everything. So not that it would be hard to just go chop a tree down, but still. Oh, we need 4 mixing oils. Got it. Okay. As a motorbike passes by again, it's definitely the day of it. Alright, I'll worry about that later when we go back. Shit. How long are those two going to make us wait? Why don't you calm down and show them that you've grown up a bit? Well, he's just excited he's home, so cut him some slack. Yeah, what's wrong with getting excited? Chief, Dreidere, I'm back. Got so much to tell you about the world outside the village. Chief, what's wrong? Did something happen, Dreidere? It's nothing. The chief is doing fine. There's something wrong with the devices and the Seeds of Light stabilizers? Secret plans are progressing without issue. It will be finished soon enough. With the improvements to the devices and seeds, we have much more time now. Then why? Nothing to do. It's just that we stand here with all this time we have earned and don't know what to do with it. We've lived our lives day by day, and everything we touch and rely on comes from the past. We never thought about the future. Now we simply exist with no plan for what to do from here on. What do you mean? Don't jump to conclusions too quickly, you're still thinking. Perhaps. We've been here too long. We don't know how to live any other way. You've been on your high horse for so long that you've lost your guts. If you'd rather whine and do nothing. Anyway, start acting like your life's on the line. Everyone here's doing just that. Don't make it my village look so pathetic. He's been working his tail off for this village. What will happen to the village if you, the leader, are like this? Listen to him. Oh, Federica's stepping in, being the being like the authoritative figure she is. And from one town leader to another, get your shit together. That's basically what Federica said. She's pissed. Sorry, my life's on the line. Oh, Ryza. What do you think about what Dion and that girl were saying? I think you should ask them again, when they are in a better mood, about their memories, the joys and pains of the journey. And perhaps he has what it takes to go on. Maybe we should tell Dion about the truth of this village. Dreidere, please tell Ryza about the graveyard, would you? The graveyard? But Chief! Sorry, Ryza. I know you just got here, but could you please take him to a certain place? A certain place? It's unsightly of me to beg of you, but I need to know if there is still any strength left in us. Dion will be put to the test. You are free to do as you please with the things you find there, Ryza, or perhaps you could. I see. Hey, Dion just ran off. Seems to be heading towards the pond. Oh, to be so young. Carla, you're not helping. Oh, to be a young whippersnapper. Stop it. Let's go after him. Okay, I'll talk to you a moment. Yeah, what's up? Banned shrine in the mountains east of Farah. As I've written history, it's mostly been confirmed orally. However, that shrine's been long untouched. It's a dog in this area there. It's said. You mean you aren't sure? It's full of monsters and there's no seeds of light, so we've generally ignored it. Anyway, if you're willing, I thought I'd last you take a look. Any documents, huh? Maybe it's something to do with people from the AOG. We'll gladly accept we find anything. We'll bring it back. Wonderful, thank you. So he's run off over there. Oh, world quest to the east? Do you mean west? Come on. We'll go do this quick. Dion can wait a minute. He can go salt. Let me pass. Come on. There we go.
これと似た神殿があった懐かしいなよっさあさあ集めちゃいましょうね
とりあえず集めておくか
発見いいもの
Damn it, I was like kind of trying to get everything, but we probably have to fight these guys anyway.
怯えよ風と私で切り裂く今なら鍵がつけれるかもそうだとどめしたいさ離れる付き合い消えちゃいなさい
So I'm using my mic a little bit more often because there's a garbage truck working its way down the road. It's making a hell of a lot of noise and it's moving super slowly. So I'm just like, until it quietens right down, I'm just not using it much. I'm just turning my mic off in between talking. Damn it! We're gonna clear out this room and hope we get the objective. There we are. This is what we need. We need the documents the chief spoke of. Periodic storm, the great ravage, it's all things I heard in the village. This isn't just a document. Is this an alchemy recipe? Led by the people of the AOG? I should report this back to the chief. And we still got those things to do. Ugh. I need to remember. I just need to remember they're there and just do them. So I keep forgetting, and then the next time I start up a stream, I then spot them again. I'm like, oh yeah, right, those quests still exist. Right, let's see how they're doing. We simply exist with no plan of what to do. What the hell is that supposed to mean? I completely agree. Even this village has a deeply rooted tradition. Everyone wants what's best for it, whether they want change or to preserve tradition. Hey, even you're getting upset, Federica. Of course I am. We don't know what to do. It's just a big excuse for being lazy to me. How like the young to say that? Those with responsibility carry a heavy burden. There will be times of hesitation. It is as she says. Oh, Deirdre. Since Dion left, Chief has been secretly making improvements to the tools and seeds here. He talked with the villagers as well. What did you say? He was checking to see what he could do for the village, but everyone was content with fading away and doing nothing. They pass time idly, unaware that the seeds of light will run out this one day. The present being shrouded in the past, you hear stories like that all the time. The chief is lost. He thinks it's best for our village to not just have any problems, and just live in peace. But that just isn't possible. Maybe it isn't. That's why I said he is lost. Dion, do you dare travel to the wetlands in the northeast? There? Is it actually in the northeast this time? There, the chief will have something to show you. What's with this all of a sudden? There are lots of strong monsters around there. Even the Gleaner warriors dare not go there. Alright, I'll go. Chief told me that Dion there. He sure works people really hard. It's a sign of trust. After all, he even trusted Dion to us. It wouldn't hurt to expand your horizons a little bit here. Let's consider this a survey.
To the wetlands? We've been prepared for that.
Guys, is that okay? Dion, let's head on out. Right. Oh, let's go turn this in actually before I vanish.
It's in the wetlands in the northeast, right? Let's head there. Hey. Did you find anything? I did. The document you mentioned, but it's all stuffed here around the village. I see. So anything new? Yeah, an alchemy recipe. This is a design for a weapon. Wholly different from a device. Oh, is this Dion's weapon? So you understand it too? Yes, at a basic level. But this, why is it designed so elaborate? It really is. I was thinking that it's a weapon used by people who built the ruins. In that case, it may be more powerful than anything around today. Please, you should take this document. We have no way of using this here. Really? Yes, it may serve you on your journey. Oh, we got 2 recipes. So yeah, we're picking up like sort of ultimate weapons from doing all these quests.
Oh,
they're trying to get around the bump. Alright, let's see what we find over here in the graveyard. Thank you, everyone, for being here with me.
No need to thank us now.
Just leave it to your sis and friends. Exactly. We do whatever it takes. Just breathe some life into the chief. Federica, you're on a roll. I am with you.
It's good to be in high spirits, but this place is full of danger, so keep your wits about you.
Yeah, it's all well and good being so optimistic, but be a little more fucking cautious. I think the shorter members of the group, Lilla and Patty. Lilla's not short. The hell are you talking about? I mean, she's short-ish. She's on the shorter half, but she's not short. She'd take the lead instead of me. That's true. Patty, it's dangerous. Can you do this for us? Sure, you can count on me. Okay, Lenten boss, cover the rear. Dian Tao, take the left and right. Same pace as me, and watch your steps.
Sure.
Got it. Let's do it. Everyone's moved into a protective formation, even though I thought I was supposed to lead them. Oh well. Let's go. This place looks more like an old battlefield than ruins. I've seen more than enough of this kind of sight in my travels. I'd never get used to seeing things like this. So this is where a big battle took place during the Age of God. And the Mede's people were defeated here. And the people who invaded this land plundered it, taking everything back with them beyond the Dragon's Passage to Aurum. That was when they created the code of the universe, right? Listening to their history only leaves unpleasant thoughts. But more importantly, look, there is more buried treasure here. Carla. But what do they want us to see in a place like this? When I was small, the old chief came here once, and never returned. He said it was some sort of ritual. A ritual? Something important that the chief has to do? I guess it's something they don't want anyone else to find out. I guess there are many possible reasons. We are almost there, so it is quicker to see for ourselves. Yeah, you're right. Dion, don't let your agitation get the best of you in battle. Your opponents will show you no sympathy. I know. Let's go. Ooh, that's... Dion, wait, on your left. There's another here that hangs on to the past. We don't have time for this. Let's just beat it and go on. Yeah, that's the spirit. Lively ones, aren't they? Okay, let's make way for the boys and girls. What's coming out of the vortex? Oh, damn! Oh, this guy's kind of cool. It's got the Nintendo floating head and hand syndrome, but this guy's kind of cool. What's it called? Oh, literally just a floating skeleton. Gotta make sure to get this thing's key when we get the chance to. Jesus, the items. I'll take my chance. Gotcha. The rainbow key. Symbol of Omnipotence XXL. That'll be good. I think that's something we could equip on a party member. This might even just kill. Yep. Alright, good boss fight. I like the design of the thing. It's got the Nintendo head and floating hands boss thing syndrome that was on like a lot of GameCube games. But it's still cool. Okay, now we can take our time to investigate. This seems more sophisticated than the ones at the village. Judging by the decay, they're not all from the same era. So there used to be a village here? No, there are no traces of anyone having lived here. I see only decaying devices that were brought here. So someone brought these devices all the way here just to leave them here? Maybe for the secret ritual you were talking about, Dian. What have you realized, my friend? He's realized something. That face is not the face of... Yep. This is... a tomb. A tomb for devices? No. It is a tomb for what is lost. So this is a place with some kind of ritualistic significance, as we thought. Sorry, Patty. What is it, Patty? It's just this thing was inside it. Seems brand new compared to everything else. It's like it could be silver. What could it be? The chief said you are free to do as you please with the things that you find here. Could this be what he meant? Is it really okay? This place is a tomb, right? Sis, Empel, if you think you can find some use for it, then we should bring it back. I think that's what the chief intended.
I was going to look into it anyway. I'll take you up on your offer.
It doesn't seem like there's anything else but decaying devices. But I'm sure this place means a lot to him. Only the people who have lived here can understand why it's special. That's true. Anyway, Dion is not only feeling it, but... I mean, not to loot a tomb, but... I wonder what Dion is thinking. Sure, he's thinking of a way to explain things to the chief. Let's see it through. Shall we head back to the manor? Send on back. Yeah, we got 2 more weapons we can make. Or Grand Organ weapons. Yep. So I needed more tough logs. I was like, well, they're right there. Chief, was that the tomb of what is lost? That's right. When devices stop working and can't be restored, they go to the tomb of what is lost. When you building new devices, though, only make things needed for daily use, or to sell to the outside. Just simple things. Can't make things that are quite advanced. Because they need the heart that was handed down by our ancestors. The heart cannot be repaired. If it breaks, the device dies. This is what I've been told since I was a kid. If a device dies, the work that was carried out using the device dies with it. We live our lives relying on things that slowly die. That is who we are. That is the village of Far. I see. That is why this village protects all old traditions, because you face that loss daily. But if there are things handed down to you from your ancestors, then you must have been able to make them in the past, right? Why did you end up losing the ability? Us at the village of Far, we are descendants of people of the Age of God, those who flourished in the depths of the mead. Huh? So you didn't come here for the treasures of the ruins, but you're the rightful owner to the ruins? So Dion is a descendant of the people of the AOG? Then your ancestors were there. Yes, we were once defeated by a powerful being. We were driven away from our land and became wanderers. We finally creeped back to our homeland hundreds of years after our defeat. We have been wandering for generations and generations. We lost most of our technology, even knowledge of seeds of light. We inherited relics that could no longer be made and gathered remnants from our homeland and barely managed to keep it all together. The devices we could actually use, as well as our people, gradually faded away. The final standing is all here in the village of Far. With your old inheritances like this, couldn't you somehow bring all the technology back? Past chiefs all tried, but all failed. There was too big a difference between the skills of our people now and our ancestors. So we spent our lost days just withering away, and as Dion said, we were losing our steps, but... How was it? Seeing the tomb built by our forefathers showed the symbol of our decline. Do you still want to go on? Yes! I saw outside the village, and I want to see even more. If the village is going to wither away, I am going to bring it back. I don't have anything to offer right now, but I'll find it in the outside world.
Good. I recognize you as far as First Blade, and on behalf of the village, I order you to see the outside world. First Blade, isn't that Deredere's? It's okay. I saw that tomb a long time ago too, though I just ended up staying in the village. You saw the same thing, but you were willing to see the outside world. You are the bravest to be known as the First Blade. Hell yeah, Dion, stepping up in the world. Good for you, kid. Yeah, aw! I got it. I will change this. Out of spirit, kid. You haven't seen a key art in forever, so this is appreciated. For how skillfully you handled that aggressive child. I'm so grateful to you all. Next time we come back, Dion would have grown up a lot. Trust us. That makes my heart flutter a little, seeing young people like this. Dear Ryza, and your friends too, may I have a word with you? I wish there were more key arts in the Atelier games again. It feels like they kind of leaned away from them as time's gone on, and there's just not as many. Dedere, what do you want to talk about? You're leaving again soon, right? I just wanted to say a few things about Dion before you leave. Overprotective as ever. I don't think you need to do that much anymore. True. Anyway, as thanks, I'd like you to listen to this. As thanks? Yes. Though the chief didn't say so himself, there is one important tradition in this village. Doesn't sound very good. To speak frankly, you are right. So this tradition is related to the tomb of what is lost. For generations, when something was lost, the chief took it to the cemetery to be mourned. I think Dion mentioned it a little, something about the previous chief. As you heard, yes, the previous chief also went to the tomb and never returned. Especially in a place full of monsters like that. No, it is because it's an ancient battlefield where spirits gather. That's why you set up the tombs. Exactly. Dion, who was very young at the time, could never forget the sights of how sad everyone in the village was, and he was still scared. Scared that the current chief who raised him will end up the same way at some point. I am not saying it for him, but is it impossible to break these kind of traditions? Rituals and customs are created in order to unite groups of people. Therefore, it is very difficult to alter them. Yes, it is a powerful tradition spanning hundreds of years, and it's the responsibility of the chief handling the village. I mean, one day the chief will. Dion was also so frustrated that it cannot be changed, and the only thing to do was rebel. I can understand that feeling somewhat. But that kid is now saying he will leave the village and will change everything. I'm so happy about that. I think Dion's feelings are very honest and simple. He likes the chief and Deredere both, and he likes his village too. Therefore, please look forward to it. Wait for the day that that kid brings back enough gifts to change the village. Please take care of Dion. You got it. I will make sure he gets where he needs to be. We will do our best too. Of course! Oh, a nice little self-contained like arc for Dion. He's no longer trying to run away. He's literally had Ryza's story arc, but in short. He's not trying to run away from the village anymore. He's trying to do something for the village in the same way Ryza wanted to get rid out of the island, but now she wants to do things for the island. And now it's like indebted to the island in a lot of ways for herself. What can I do for you? Yeah, when we got to the tombs, I found this. Came here to get your forgiveness for taking it. I knew you'd find it, just suspected. It's a metal thing that was used in the heart of the machine. It is an incredible thing that transmits power and is very sturdy. For generations, different chiefs would try and figure out how it works, but none have done so yet. Before heading to the tombs, it is custom to put one skill on the line that they have honed, including those unfulfilled. You have also tried it too, right? I have tried many times, yes, since I was influenced by Dion and Empel. But in any case, it seems better to have left it to an alchemist, as they would know how to use it. It's a bit bloomy to call it courtesy, but I will research it too, but won't Dion get upset if you keep thinking so darkly?
By the way, in relation to the reason we came here, one thing I have found out is I have a bit of a secret proposal that is a bit out there. Could you hear me out?
Sure, I'm all ears.
But first, can you tell me the meaning of Dragonstorm, which has caused you harm?
This is a place where dragons come and go between worlds using the dragon vein and the passage. I'm guessing from the structure, the people of Nemid originally built a strong castle here to research the passage.
Until they arrived at Aurum. There was no sign of any wrongdoing. It seems your forefathers fared much better.
They may have been just as cowardly as we are now, so what do you propose?
Yeah, actually, the village is located along the Dragon's Path. It is right above the Dragon Vein and right in front of the passage.
They may have settled here to avoid storms, but it ended up being very counterproductive. Dragons and storms both fly and blow here. What?
Storms happening every hundreds or so years and generations changing, it was hard to settle on bigger measures. But now that you know it's dangerous, wouldn't that be enough of a reason to take action? Speaking of which, there's a place on the hill to the east, which is located between the Dragon Veins and...
We moved the village there. It will not be as dangerous as it is now, I see, but I can't just abandon my hometown. However, even if spoken by the chief, no one will just agree to move the village suddenly.
That's right.
But for someone who might be able to change it someday, that is a good base to start.
That's right.
Chief, you should not think of this heart as something for a ritual, but something you should challenge from time to time. Someday, it will lead you somewhere. I'll follow your example and study it also.
I never expected the excursion of the Dragon Vein would be as fruitful as this. Oh, there are no wasted efforts. Isn't that how it always is? Or should always be? Sis, let's head up to wherever next. We are not out to go sightseeing. Flying with the Dragon Vein is important research for Miss Ryza. Therefore, going somewhere is also experimenting too, right? More or less. The tablet isn't fully sorted out yet. We can't just fly off as we please.
Having studied the incredibly powerful dragon vein that runs through this region, I have learned a few things. What do you mean by that? Even if we were to fly with maximum power, you could not break through the walls of the world. The mythology itself is wrong, is what I mean.
What do you mean? The experiment failed? It's important to understand that it is impossible for now. It's evident that we have to think of something else.
So what do we do?
Nothing will change for the time being. We have a look at things one at a time and figure out what is wrong. So we just have to continue flying using the tablets, right? Yes. I have a lot to think about. The technique used to transcend using the Dragon Vein is still immature. Or... you wouldn't understand even if you tried to explain it to us. Anyway, we need to fly to the next region. Ryza and Empel will get something. That's good enough.
So all the trouble has been left to us, right?
We all have our strengths and weaknesses. You guys are the alchemists, we are not. Sis is doing something incredible that we cannot do at all. Your words warm my heart. Ah, right, Dion. You already know to be the one of... you are already known to be one of the best. Ah, yeah. And please don't refer to me so formally anymore. Please just call me Ryza. I can't do that. I think you are so amazing that you'll always be my sis. Oh, you're going to be stubborn about it. Well, I'm glad to hear about it. Well, let's head back to the Atelier on Carkyles. Oh, we're just going, are we? Yes, we are. Okay. I'm back. Okay, let's sort out... huh? What is it? What's going on? What happened? This one's a tablet beginning to glow. Did you do something? You didn't do anything, right? No. No. We've just transcended. Maybe the tablet reacted to something. Oh, here we go. Oh, shit. The crystals is shattered. Seems to be reacting to the force of the transcendence caused by the tablet. Maybe not strong enough. Guess we need to study a lot more about this. There's another motorbike by. Hey sis, about the silver one from the tombs. Do you think you can still use it? Yes, I was thinking to look into that one as well. It might take a little while. Then I guess we should take a little break. Miss Ryza, have you seen Patty? Nah, I was so focusing I don't know. Looking for Miss Patricia. Then I think she headed to the Valence company. She seemed to be in a hurry. I think I'll go check on her. Probably to write a letter for like academic studies. Damn it. But I think all of this jumping around like several regions and whatnot is a good enough stopping point for now. I'm just checking to see if there's any little things to do other than these. And I'll get to them. Okay. I think that's a good stopping point for now. So we've got access to thinking of portals. The mystery is starting to expand more. More things are starting to wrap up. Yeah, I don't know how close we are to the end, but it certainly is like we're in the latter chunk, you know? So let me manual save. And then I'll call it for today. As always, thank you so much for watching. I know we've had a lot more like interruptions. It's a bank holiday and it's a special bank holiday with motorbikes. And I know that doesn't bother most of you. Like none of you has ever complained, but it bothers me. But outside of that, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe as always. It genuinely really helps this channel grow. And you can also find my Twitter and Patreon in the description of every video if you feel so inclined. But until then, we'll be back more on this game tomorrow. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.